right, so how's everybody doing? Today is Wednesday. Everybody good? Can y'all hear me? I think y'all probably can. I think I'm loud enough. She's Holly Judge, give the most bonds and is known for being fair. I looked him up. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about all of that. Okay, we're going to talk about all of that. First of all, did y'all do those white hearts? Did y'all do those white hearts? Did y'all light this chat up with white hearts? Did y'all do that? Oh, there go those white hearts. Thank you, Big Sis. Big Sis came in tipping. That's what I'm talking about. She says, hey, happy hump day, Amor Mod and chat sisters. Thank you so much, Big Sis. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. She said, where is Robbie? What? Robbie, she keeps the comments funny. Oh, yeah, where's Robin? She does keep the comments funny. There go those white hearts. I see those white hearts. White hearts. I just found out last night that the white hearts meant like, I mean, it means a lot, but like pure and what was it, y'all? Y'all tell me what it mean again. I know I forgot already. But anyway, I just know it mean that she gonna get off on self-defense and it's for Holly. That's what it mean, okay? That's what we gonna say what it mean over here. She gonna get off on self-defense, all right? Now, I'm gonna have to tell y'all something. I have been taken aback about the things that I have found out today, y'all. Like, I'm so... Oh, solidarity. Yes. So solidarity. Thank you so much. We standing in the gap for Holly. All right. Team self-defense, team fair trial for Holly, team. This is some fraganagle bull. Anyway. So anyway, you guys, I done found out so much today, and we are going to talk about it. She said, I'm here dressed in white. Who looking for me? I'm scared. You ain't got nothing to be scared about, girl. You ain't got nothing to be scared about. So I'm going to put this picture up right here because we're going to be talking about Attorney Ari today, baby, because Attorney Ari is making some loud noise in these social media streets. And baby, let me tell you something. I love a loud noise making person. You hear me? She's making some loud noise in these streets. I need y'all to hit that thumbs up button for me, please. And thank you. She said, Tia made me proud today. Girl, she ain't had no choice, honey. She ain't had no choice but to make you proud. We're going to talk about her too. She ain't had no choice but to make you proud, okay? Hey, Tammy, girl, did you hear Tia? Boy, they going to be mad at Tia, girl. Tia came out here speaking some truth today, girl. They about to be throwing all type of spitballs at Tia today, honey. You hear me? We're going to play it over here, but honey, they about to be real mad at Tia because Tia had to speak. She said, this is facts. I have to say this is facts. Yeah, because we speak facts over here. We ain't all in our feelings and things of that such. We ain't doing that over here. It ain't about no feelings over here. If you hear for your feelings to be spared, you might be in the wrong chat. We all about the legal facts over here. Okay, that's what we doing over here. All right. So thank y'all so much for those white hearts in the chat, honey. Solidarity. We are standing in the gap for Holly, okay, because she was forced to have to protect herself. You know what I'm saying? She was forced to have to protect herself, and now she's been drugged through the mud because of it, all right? So let me just say this and get it out the way. Everything that I say on my channel is based on my opinion. It's allegedly, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I will be reading some of the facts and things of that nature that pertains to the law, but y'all know when I make my little cracky jokes or whatever, I ain't trying to defame nobody. Listen, it's just based on my opinion. You know what I mean? All right, so now I'm going to remove the banner so y'all can see this pretty thumbnail that I made of Attorney Ari. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw Attorney Ari's Instagram, I was a little suspect. I was like, wait a minute, who is this lady over here? Who is she, right? But then I had to peel back the onion, and a couple of other bloggers that I follow, they did a story, and I may play it if I have time today. If not, I'll do it another day. Or y'all could go check it out yourself. Her name is Naja Hall. She did a breakdown of who Attorney Ari really is. So if you really want to know who Attorney Ari is, check out her video, okay? She said they mad at you or more, but they're going to stay mad. They're going to be real, real mad in 2027 when she's found not guilty, even if it goes that far. Even if it goes that far, okay? But let's get into it. Hold on one second. All right. So we got a lot to go over. Today was court, and I told y'all yesterday. Thank you, Candy Girl, my moderator. She said, Ari said, hell no to the no, no, no. Let's get this party started. Coming from the do girl. You so funny. She said, y'all show the queen on YouTube some love. The only analyzer that can break down a story like a Glock 19, honey, M16, baby. You better know it. Send a super chat or a cash app. Talk about it with them. Talk about it 2024. Thank you so much, Candy. I appreciate y'all. Y'all heard her. She said, tip the girl, tip the girl. Hey, right. Seriously, though, I have my coffee link up there. So if you guys want to bless me with a coffee, you sure can. All right. But let's get into this. Everybody, welcome to the chat. And let me just say this before we start talking. Thank y'all so much for being a group of fabulous, outstanding supporters and commenters down below. Okay, thank y'all so much. Every now and again, we'll get somebody to come in here and act a donkey, but we send them to the coloring room. Okay, so they go paint, go color, or whatever, you know, and gotta go find somebody else chat to act a donkey in because we don't allow that over here. All right. So now let's get back into, look at y'all throwing me some love. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I do. Thank you, Escom. Thank you. So listen, Ari, y'all, at first, you know, let me tell you something. Let me just say this. You can never judge a book by its cover. We should all know that. We've heard it for years, but I'm here to tell you, never judge a book by its cover. I have never seen attorneys shoot birds on social media or, and I'm not saying that's Ari, that's actually Sierra, and Sierra is a bomb ass attorney from what I've heard, right? But shoot birds, listen to rap music, be dressed flashy, showing some skin. I've never seen that, right? So when I first saw it, I was like, what type of attorney is this? What type of attorney is this? But baby, all I got to say is if an attorney is standing on business, I don't care what she does. I don't care how many birds she shoots. I don't care how much skin she shows. I don't care what type of music she listens to. You hear me? I don't care because she stands on business. Okay? Stands on business. All right. So Ari, now a lot of people are mad at me, but I don't know what they're mad at me for. They should be mad at the attorney because Ari is shaking up social media today. Okay? To the point where Tia, and I don't know why Tia tried to act like she was a neutral reporter because she was not. Okay, she was not from the beginning, and I would tell that to her. She knows she wasn't. She was absolutely justice for Ramika, but now she didn't even had to eat her words today. She's had to come out and actually say, well, I mean, now that we're hearing the other side of the story, of course it was another side of the story. What you thought? I was over here, and I know she wasn't listening to me, but I'm over here. You got Amber, you got Real T, you got other, I don't know who else, but you had other people over here screaming, there is another side to the story. Y'all have not heard Holly's side. Holly has not made a statement. We have said that over and over and over and over and over, and people kept running with this. But now, this happened. He had her in a headlock. He slamming the door on her. She ran to her car. She did this. She did that. She did this. And I kept saying, and I know other bloggers were saying it as well, y'all are only hearing one side of the story. The state is relying on witness evidence. There is no video footage. I kept saying that. But now guess who's saying it now? Their favorite reporter. Their favorite reporter. So we're going to get into it. But before we show the interview that Tia did just 1 hour ago, matter of fact, 1 hour ago, I want to tell y'all something before we get into it. Now, she mentions it here, but I'm going to tell you the backstory, okay? So Tia was trying to, and I don't know why she's trying to do this because, like, what you thought for real. But as a journalist, I don't even, a reporter, journalist, or whatever the hell she is, I don't even know why she would try to go to the jail and interview Holly. Holly was smart enough to say no. I'm not giving you no statement. So then she tried that back in December, right? So then she tried it again today. However, she contacted the attorney to get permission because they told her nobody can see Holly without going through her lawyer, right? So she's like, oh, okay, no worries. You know, I'm a reporter. Probably tried to splash her badge like she was all that or whatever. And she called Ari up on the phone, and Ari told her, hell to the no, to the no, 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 no, no. Okay? That is what Ari told her, right? Now, I'm pretty sure she didn't like that. She probably didn't like it at all. Hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. This is what Ari told her ass. Hold on.
My name Bishop Bowen. I got the first church, nothing but the truth. What you say? Child, God, play. Open up the door, China too. Come on. First, I want to thank God for the blood running warm in my veins. Yeah, I thank God for my life. I got a sound my life. Gonna be too long. Ain't gonna take it too far. 7 miles. No, no, come on, come on. Hell no. No, 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 no.
Okay, y'all heard Ari, right? Y'all heard Ari. Ari said, hell no to the no, no, to the no, no, no. Okay. So, and I don't even know why, as a reporter, she would have wanted that anyway, because your attorney always tell you, do not speak to no one because you have a right to remain silent. Why would she talk to a reporter that's gonna come that just literally gave, which I ain't saying anything was wrong with that, but the Ramika family $3,500 for Christmas, right? Again, I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. She can give her money to whoever she wants to, but why will Holly talk to her for her to come out here, twist, flip, and take her words and spread them lies all over the internet? Because that's basically what she did the first time, talking about Romika fell into traffic. That was one of the biggest lies I've ever heard in my life. Romika fell into traffic, right? So anyway, but Ari told her, hell no to the no. I do not believe that she will be calling Holly, excuse me, not Holly, but I do not believe that she would be calling Ari back and asking Ari anything no more, okay? Because Ari dug all up in her. All up in her. Hell no, you're not talking about client. Have you lost your mind? My thing is this, again, why would Tia want to speak to Holly? You are not a state attorney. If she didn't speak to the goddamn prosecutor or detective or whatever, why would she speak to a reporter? Let me say this right quick. If you ever get yourself caught up in any type of trouble and you have a paid lawyer, a lawyer that you are spending good amount of money to, because Ari ain't cheap, y'all. Ari is not cheap. So if you already paying a good amount of money to if you got an attorney, period, I don't care how much you paying them, do not speak to no one. No one. And I'm glad Holly got some smarts in her. Now, I believe she's a very smart and intelligent woman, but it probably some women that, or people, should I say, that would have spoke to her. Oh, she's a reporter. Let me get my side of the story out. Don't ever think that you need to get your side of the story out. Why? Because the burden of proof is always on the state. They charging you with it, right? Since they charging you, let them prove whatever it is they trying to charge you with, okay? So we're going to get into this one, y'all. Now, I wasn't going to show y'all, but we might as well, because, baby, when I tell you she was singing a whole different tune today, I guarantee you they're going to start throwing spitballs at Tia, because Tia definitely did not say what they wanted her to say today, okay? So now this is a 9-minute video. I'm going to do this video, and I'm going to be doing commentary on this video while showing y'all this video, which means I will be stopping and talking. Now, I'm going to try not to yell at her like I was doing earlier, because I damn sure was yelling through the screen at her like, lady, you really thought that it was only one side? Who? Raise your hand if you knew that it was more than one side of the story. Because to hear her say, well, I guess we're hearing the other side of the story. Like, why did you think there was not another side of the story? Why wouldn't she think? She said, I was yelling too. Exactly. Because Lady Love, why would she think that that was only one side of the story? But she ain't the only one. A lot of people on social media thought that it was only one side. Just one side. We up here telling them that didn't happen. It didn't happen like that. It happened like this. No, you a liar. I heard Tia. And I heard the other content creators, and they said this and they said that. And I'm like, okay, all right. Okay. So now and then listen. Now, not in this video, but another video, which I'm going to show you that she did on Facebook. Let me let y'all see it right quick. Hold on. Where she said, now this is factual. And let's talk about the word factual. She had to say that those documents are factual. Why? Because they were filed in court and they got exhibits to them. And I told y'all yesterday and the day before yesterday, right? No attorney is going to tell the judge with exhibits that they have video evidence to contradict what the witness said if they don't have it. Ari will look like a complete idiot by telling the judge that she have video evidence to debunk what the witness said, and she don't really have it, right? And this lady, Tia, had to admit that there is no other video footage of the incident. Despite what other people on social media have been saying. We ain't got to drop no names, but let them say whatever on their own panel. If y'all want to know the truth, if you really want to know what's going on, I'm one of the channels, and then go chime in to Amber and Real Talk Tea. I think that's what you call it. Y'all let me know in the comments what her channel is. I think it's Real Talk Tea. But I call it T. All right. Y'all know who it is. But we are talking the facts. Time out for she should have ran down a road. She should have parachuted the hell up out of there. She shouldn't have not been sleeping with him. She should have rolled the dice, and she should have beamed me up Scotty. She should have chewed some bubble gum. She should have ran for her life. Yeah, Real TTV. Okay, I'm sorry. Real TTV. So time out for that. We're talking facts. It is yes, it's a woman deceased, but it's also a woman life that's on the line, right? And the woman life that's on the line, she was in real self-defense, okay? Real self-defense. So anyway, but I want y'all to hear right quick how she tried to explain facts right quick, okay? She don't like it. I know she don't like it. It's probably hurt her feelings, but it's okay because facts over feelings any damn day. Okay, here we go.
Comments are just straight up negative. And I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah. And then she probably tried to call me out by saying it's people threatening the witness. She's a liar, because if she's talking about me threatening the witness, she's a damn liar. And I would tell her to her face that she is a liar. Okay. But anyway, she mentions that they're over there threatening the witnesses. And before we get into it, y'all, witness number 4 has dropped out. Okay. Well, allegedly. Okay. And until y'all see it official, just know that I told y'all. Allegedly, witness number 4 has came forward and retracted his statement and basically said, hell, I was at the school when this shit was going down, right? I was at the school and I only repeated what was told to me, okay? I only repeated what was told to me. So witness number 4 out, so we only have 3 witnesses. Y'all, I need y'all to drop down in the comments right quick. How many witnesses they said they had? 21, 15. How many they say 18, 19, 20, 21? How many witnesses, y'all? Because they only have 3 now. and one of the witnesses, which is witness number 1, said that it was self-defense. So now they only have 2. The DoorDash guy that said that he saw Holly and Romika and Carlos standing in between them, but he did not hear what they were saying and he did not see the shooting. Okay, right? That's him, DoorDash. And then we have number 3. Okay, he said, okay, I see everybody's in here. Hey, Mag TV, you're gonna love this one right here because Tia is changing her stance, baby. Well, I ain't gonna say she's changing her stance, but she's singing another tune today. Okay, so anyway, I want y'all to hear her say, I'm just gonna read the facts. I'm just going to read the facts. And this is facts because this is a filed court document, which means that this ain't no witness number 3 statement, okay? This ain't witness number 3. This is Attorney Ari standing on business. She working for her coins, baby. She working for her money, okay?
This story in particular. So I want to say this. I'm not ignoring your comments, but
I don't want to hear that.
some of this is allegations.
Hold on.
I'm just going to read you the facts because that, to me, is what matters. Now, keep in mind, when I say facts in this case, I'm talking about what was factually filed.
What was factually filed. What she trying to say is factually filed. What she trying to say is no good attorney is going to file a document in the court telling the judge that I have video evidence to contradict your state star witness, okay? Your state star witness. I have video evidence that put her somewhere else at the time of the shooting. I have video evidence that proved that she was wearing headphones on the CTA bus. I have video evidence that showed that she looked out the window for a total of 9 seconds. I have video evidence that showed when she looked out the window, she wasn't even passing the crime scene at the time. So that's what she means when she says filed facts. Not just a witness statement, but filed facts. Filed facts. Okay? All right, let's run it.
So I'm just going to read you the facts because that, to me, is what matters. Now, keep in mind, when I say facts in this case, I'm talking about what was factually filed. Now, some of this is allegations, and I merely mean allegations because this is someone's point of view of what they say happened or their narrative of it without anything else to support it. So that's what I mean when I say facts versus, for example, I can say I was hit by a car, but video may show that.
Why the hell do she need to give us an example of what is a fact and what is an allegation? Oh, I forgot. All right. I know what audience she talking to. She ain't talking to us, y'all. She's not talking to us, okay?
Yeah, Ewing was never hit by a car. So I can say whatever I want, but the facts have to work out for themselves. So in this case, I will try to highlight as best I can these 20 pages. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot.
It is a lot because it's called the defense side of the story. That's why it's a lot. When I tell you, I just felt like she literally thought that nothing else was going to come out except for what was already out here. Like, I don't understand why these people are so surprised. They so surprised. You hear me?
To boil this story down to just that small increment of time that I just did on the news was very, very difficult to pull off.
She said what she did on the news was very difficult to pull off. So let me ask y'all this right quick. Let's hear the news one first, y'all. I know I'm going back and forth, but we're going to hear the news one because she said this is the one that was very, very difficult to pull off. I don't know why. Why was it very difficult to pull off? Because she got the Chicago Live behind her and she can't lie when she got the Chicago Live logo behind her. Y'all, let's listen to this one right here because, baby, she could not come out here with that bullshit today. No, she could not.
This case, someone had posted to me on Facebook saying there are additional charges. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to look and see.
And then what type of journalists say somebody posted on Facebook saying there's additional charges and she repeats that shit? As a journalist, you would think that she would have looked it up herself instead of repeating what somebody on social media said. Where you do that at? Don't you got to have a journalist license or some shit? Don't it tell you in journalism school, don't just repeat shit without looking it up? There are no 6 additional charges. There are 6 different variations to one charge. For her to even say that, oh my God. Anyway, let's run this. Let's
charges.
Somebody said on Facebook. She sounds like a blogger. That's all she is a glorified ass blogger.
Have posted to me on Facebook saying
somebody had posted to me on Facebook. Somebody told me on Facebook, and I'm going to repeat it.
additional charges. So we wanted to look and see, was that indeed true? And we found out that on December 30th, that there was an indictment that came back for 5 additional charges.
They're not charges. Learn what they are before you open your mouth. She does not have 5 additional charges. Again, 1 charge, which is first-degree murder, and it's different variations to get to that first-degree murder, okay?
For Quadeja, obviously murder still being the highest charge. But
oh, hold on. Now, you got to go. Take your ass somewhere else in color, because that's what's not about to happen. Bye. Now. Okay, let's go. Don't tell me to shut up on my panel. You want to say some shut up? You say shut up on somebody else's panel, not mine. Dismissed.
For Quadeja, obviously murder still being the highest charge. But when we looked at what was filed just 2 days ago, so filed on Monday by her attorney, we're actually learning a whole lot more. We're learning more about the case. We're learning more about her. And some of this stuff is a bit shocking, to be honest.
Shocking? Why is it shocking? Because you believed witness number 3? Look at this lady. Look how she looking. Y'all see her? She's like, shocking? What's so shocking about it? She looking like shocking? She said some of it is a bit shocking. I wonder why she thinks it's a bit shocking. Huh? Because she thought it was one side to the story.
Being that according to Quadeja's attorney, Ari Williams, is that the key witness for the state, according to them at least, going through these 20 pages, had on noise canceling headphones. So the question is, did that person hear what they said that they heard? And then there's some conflicting statements based on other witnesses that were on that scene. That's one thing that we learned. Look,
all the witnesses have conflicting statements, and not one of them corroborate each other. Not one. Of course, it was conflicting statements because witness number 3 grabbed that whole story out of her ass.
Break all of this down because it's so much information. They're basically saying here that there is not clear and convincing evidence.
It sure ain't, baby. Reasonable doubt, number 1.
Deja Johnson murdered Romika Blackman with intent, intentionally here, and that they feel like she is not a threat and should be released either on home confinement or electronic monitoring. Also very interesting detail that came out of this was seeing that there is no video that shows the full picture of this killing. And there were a lot.
Dun, 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 dun. How many times have we said there is no video footage of the shooting? But some people want to say, yes, that ass. Yes, that ass. Yes, that ass. They just haven't released it yet. Yes, that ass. Okay.
This killing.
And there were a lot of people out there.
There were a lot of people out there. There's cameras out there. We know there was a CTA bus that caught something, but apparently no actual video of this entire, killing. Again, her attorney is really saying, look, this was an act of self-defense. This is why. Saying that Romika had threatened Johnson. No, they had not seen each other before, but that she had made threats to her through family, including calling her grandmother and saying that she was going to kill her. So there's a lot of things that have come out of this, including that order of protection. Remember, we saw on our end that it was not served. According to them, they're saying that the order was actually granted on July of 2025, months before the shooting. And the victim was served and aware of that order. So there's a lot of things.
Of course she was aware of the order, baby. The whole transcript of June the 18th makes her aware of the order.
Things that have come out of this that I don't think we really had a clear picture of.
We're hearing the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. So somebody said they are already saying that Holly supporters got to Tia. Oh my God. Now they done turned on Tia. Damn, Tia. Damn, girl. Damn, they done turned on your ass. This is funny to me. Hey, this is funny to me. They done turned on Tia.
We're hearing the other side.
Yeah, the other side. And I think
now you hear this lady right here say, well, we're hearing the other side of it. It was always an other side, y'all. It was always another side, y'all. And all I got to say is, baby, it's just about to get interesting, okay? It's just about to get interesting. But it was always another side. Why would people think that there was not another side? How? Why would people think that there wasn't another side? Lord Jesus.
the other side. And I think it's important, to show
hold on. I want to hear her say that again. I want to hear her say, well, yeah, it's another side.
Really had a clear picture of. Another
for hearing the other side.
Yeah, the other side. And I think it's important, to show the other side, because as of right now, we did request an interview with Quadeja Holly Johnson.
Y'all listen to this right here. Listen to what you're about to hear right here, because baby, this is hilarious to me.
But at that, back in December. As of right now, we did request an interview with Quadeja Holly Johnson. We submitted that back in December of last year, and we never heard anything back. I actually did call up the attorney today just to see, was there an opportunity for that to happen? Let's just say she made it very clear that they will not be talking anytime soon. I'll leave it at.
Hold on. She said, let's just say she made it very clear, right? Hold on, y'all. She said, let's just say we made it very clear. Hold on. Let me tell you what she did. She said, let's just say she made it very clear that that would not be happening. This is what she said. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta put it back.
Oh no, come on. Hell no. To the no. To the no.
All right, so she can say whatever she want to say, talking about, well, let's just say she made it very clear that that would not be happening. I bet you she did make it clear. I bet you got it loud and clear now, Tia.
Was there an opportunity for that to happen? Let's just say she made it very clear.
She said, let's just say she made it very clear. Y'all, I am done. She said, let's just say, look at her. Let's just say, I wonder why she didn't come straight out and say, I already gave her the business, y'all. You hear me? But why would a reporter ask an attorney, can I interview your client? Like, what the hell is wrong? This girl, Holly Johnson, is facing first-degree murder with 6 different damn variations. And little bitty ass Tia, right? It ain't like Tia some big time, whatever news person or whatever, right? And she wants the story. Why in the world? You pay her for the story, Tia. Pay her for it. Why in the world would she think Holly Johnson would talk to her and jeopardize an opportunity to remain silent? Why would she talk to her? She got a paid attorney. But anyway, she said, let's just say she made it very clear. I bet you.
Actually did call up the attorney today just to see, was there an opportunity for that to happen? Let's just say she made it very clear that they will.
I'm done, y'all. I am done. This shit is funny as hell to me. One more time. Let me just hear it one more time, and then we're going to carry on, y'all. Hold on. Let's just say she made it very clear. Let's just say she made it very, look at her face. Hold on. I got a screenshot Tia's face. Give me a second, y'all, because I got a screenshot Tia's face. Hold on, y'all. She said, let's just say she made it very clear that that would not be happening. Hold on, let me put up her face right quick, because this is diabolical. And this is not me picking at her. This is just me having a little fun, you know? But I don't understand why in the world would she ask an attorney to speak to a client that is facing first-degree murder, right? When you should have the right to remain silent, right? I would not come out here and say, now these people are gunning for her. Look at this. Look at it. Y'all, Tia, look at her. Let's just say she made it very clear. I am blown away. I am blown away, baby. Okay, she said, let's just say she made it very clear. Okay, so Ari made it very clear to Tia. Don't try that shit again. Don't do it again. Don't try that shit again. Now she done already went down there to the jail, tried to backdoor Ari, right? And Holly had enough sense to say no. But now today she go down there and they're like, well, her attorney said can't nobody see her without the attorney. Oh, well, let me just call the attorney on the phone. Here is my reporter journalist badge. Here it goes right here. You know, I'm sure she don't mind. Hi, Attorney Ari. How are you doing today? I'm down here at the jail. I just want to speak to your client for a minute, get her side of the story. Since everybody out here dragging her by her ponytails and everything all up and down social media, I just want the story. Can I talk to your client? And let me tell you what she said. Okay, this is what Ari said.
Come on, tell no to the no, no, no. Yeah. Tell to the no.
To the no. She said, hell no. To the no. Okay, that is what she said. Hell no. All right. So anyway, let's get back into her interview where she's speaking about the facts today. Okay, not the speculations, not the witness statement, the non-corroborated witness statement. Let's just say, I gotta show y'all that picture one more time. Wait a minute. Let's just say she made it very clear. Let's just say she made it very clear that it ain't gonna be happening. Let's just say that. Let's just say she made it very clear that hell no to the no. Anyway, honey, she got her feelings hurt by the attorney, baby. Listen, Attorney Ari is standing on business. Okay, Taco Bell. All right, one more time. Let me just hear her say that.
Holly Johnson, we submitted that back in December of last year, and we never heard anything back. I actually did call up the attorney today just to see, was there an opportunity for that to happen? Let's just say she made it very clear that they will not be talking anytime soon. I'll leave it at that.
And why would you want her to, though? Why would you want her to talk? Why?
But we have tried to get the other side of this. Obviously, we heard from Carlos, who...
Okay, let me just say this. Somebody said, Amor, Holly, she still has no remorse. What do you think? Do you want my honest opinion? Do you want my honest opinion, or do you want me to sprinkle some sugar on some shit right quick? Because if you want my honest opinion, why would a woman that has been harassed, okay, grandmother called and threatened, she's been threatened, her child's been threatened, she was ambushed and attacked, why should she have any remorse? And she's being charged first degree and got to pay out her ass to defend her innocence. Why should she have remorse? That needs to be the question. Why should she now feel bad about something that she was forced to do? She didn't ask for this. She didn't ask for this. So why should she feel remorse? Now, I'm not saying she don't, but what I'm saying is, why should she? Why should she? Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Exactly. She said, when the fuck have you ever heard of a motherfucker fighting for their life, not even 3 months in, get a TV interview? What the fuck? Exactly. And why would she, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I believe Tia wants to talk to her so that she can get a statement, because Holly has not made a statement, so that they can twist her words up and she can incriminate herself. That's the only reason why I would think that whatever you call her, news person, would want Holly to break her silence and come speak to her. Because why else would she? Holly would be a damn fool to have an attorney to come speak to Tia. This ain't CNN. This ain't no big time station. I mean, it's Fox Chicago. I don't know what this local. I mean, you understand what I'm trying to say? No, speak to her for what? When this girl engaged, she didn't gifted the family $3,500 for Christmas and all this other toys or whatnot. Wearing pink on the day of the court in solidarity of Ramika. Holly would be a damn fool to speak to Tia. Okay, especially when Tia came out here saying a body fell off into traffic. Make it make any type of sense. Okay, anyway, let's go. Hey, Courtney, I'm on live, baby. Yeah, you can come over. No, I mean, sort of, kind of. What's it? I'll call you back afterwards. Okay, baby. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's play.
That they will not be talking anytime soon. I'll leave it at that. but we have tried to get the other side of this. Obviously, we heard from Carlos, who was there, who is a survivor, a person who lived to tell the story. And we can't talk to Romika because she's not here. And so we haven't been afforded the opportunity to talk to Quadeja about what happened. But they're saying that 4 minutes.
Thank you so much. And anybody else that want to join my channel or subscribe to my channel, please do so. And if you do, let me know in the comments that you are a new subscriber. Thank you so much, Talkative Prime Diva. Thank you so much, baby. I appreciate you.
After Romika dropped off her son at school, that she was driving in the opposite direction.
Okay, I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to hear what she about to say.
After Romika dropped off her son at school, that she was driving in the opposite direction of Quadeja and Carlos. Quadeja was going back to her car, which was parked nearby, because she had spent time at Carlos's home.
Now, let me just say this. Tia don't want to come straight out and say it, but I want y'all to peep something. She said she was driving in the opposite direction of, saying that Romika was driving in the opposite direction of Carlos and Holly, right? The opposite direction, meaning that she passed them, okay? She was driving in the opposite direction, and when she spotted them, that's when she came and did the U-turn, okay? Now, she's going to tell y'all, I want y'all to pay attention. Tia is going to say after she dropped her baby off at school, she hung around, I don't know where, for 4 minutes before she bust that U-turn. So she was somewhere. She wasn't just leaving the school and just so happened to pass by and see them. For 4 whole minutes after dropping Lilos off, well, let's just say maybe she was joyriding. I don't know. But listen for yourself.
Nearby because she had spent time at Carlos's home. And according to them, 4 minutes to tell the story. And we can't talk to Romika because she's not here. And so we haven't been afforded the opportunity to talk to Quadeja about what happened. But they're saying that 4 minutes after Romika dropped off her son at school, that she was driving in the opposite direction of Quadeja and Carlos. Quadeja was going back to her car, which was parked nearby, because she had spent time at Carlos's home. And according to them, Romika then makes a U-turn in the middle of the street, and that is where you see her car double park. And according to them, this is the exact quote from them, and it will be in my report this evening, that when Romika approached them, she yelled, "I told y'all I was going to catch you." And so for Johnson, because her 6-month-old at the time was in the car, according to her lawyer, is saying that was enough. The previous threats, the demeanor of making the U-turn, the protective order, and what was said out there that day was enough for Johnson to fire her legal, rightful owned fire.
And she was hit on. Don't forget that one. She was swung on.
So yes, we are hearing from the other side, and again, that's our job to tell all the sides. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's where we are with
And maybe, I mean, we mentioned from the outset here that a lot of people have been following this story. But let's just assume, we have some people who are saying, who is Quadeja Holly Johnson?
Yeah, they may be.
Who is Romika Blackman?
Right.
And what is their connection? What happened?
So let's walk back through it. So what we know is that I shouldn't say earlier this year, because it was last year. Last year, we'll walk through who the players are here. So Quadeja Holly.
Y'all tell me in the comments, what do you think Romika was doing for 4 minutes? 4 whole minutes after she dropped off Lilos. For 4 whole minutes, right? For 4 whole minutes after dropping off Lilos. When I told y'all yesterday, right? I think I told you yesterday or the day before. I said they have cameras everywhere, okay? So they have Romika on camera leaving the school parking lot. And 4 minutes later, and they saw her driving in the opposite direction of Holly and Carlos, right? Then 4 minutes later, she takes a U-turn. 4 minutes later. She busts a U-turn. So it's not like she just dropped her son off and just did a U-turn and then just so happened to say, oh, that looked like my baby daddy car. Let me get out and say what up. For 4 whole minutes, she was in that area. Okay, somebody said watching low, stalking them, lying in wait. Ooh, girl, you used a word that is also used that the state is trying to say that Holly did to what's word they use? What's the word I said earlier? Because the state is trying to make it seem like she did a execution. Lying in wait and did an execution on Ramika, like she just executed her. But for 4 minutes after she left the parking lot of the school, leaving the parking lot of the school, she's caught on camera leaving the parking lot and driving in the opposite direction. The other paperwork says she passed them. She passed them, meaning opposite direction, meaning she passed them. I don't know why she's not saying she passed them. And then did a U-turn and came back to them. Okay, let's go.
Johnson and Ramika Blackman are 2 women. They both have children by the same man. His name is Carlos Smith. He did an interview with us. When this situation happened last year, Quadeja Holly Johnson is saying that she felt that she had to defend herself from Ramika Blackman because they had an ongoing feud in which they had never seen each other until the day of this shooting. Ramika is shot literally like not even full blocks away from her son's school after dropping him off. She dies. And so the question now is this is what people have been asking. When is it okay for you to act in self-defense? When is it okay for you to pull your lawful firearm and shoot someone, considering that Ramika Blackman did not have a gun? It was verbal threats. In this case, they're saying that she laid hands on Johnson.
And she did. And she did. And she did.
And that's also something that was said here. And so when do you have the right to pull your weapon out and shoot someone? And so this has been a case that has exploded, not just here in Chicago, but beyond, I think because of the way that it happened and who's involved.
And Quadeja was not immediately put in jail.
Correct. Quadeja Holly Johnson was not immediately put in jail. I think it was 2 months or so, maybe 3 months after. And people have been calling for her to be arrested and just asking the question of what happened. This happened on September 8th of 2025. So it did take some time for her to be arrested. And so a lot of people have been asking, why did it take so long? And there was some video from the scene. And the video that we've seen circulated around is that
it was after that. All the video they saw was after the fact. And that's why people got so far up in their emotions, because of the after effect videos.
Aftermath. And so based on that video alone, people felt like, oh no, she needs to be arrested. And that's where we are with it.
And in the process of that 2 months, before she ended up actually being taken into custody, by the time she got in custody, she was pregnant again.
She was pregnant. According to this, she was pregnant at the time, or at least was aware of a pregnancy at the time of her interaction with Ramika. And so that is in an additional level of why, according to her attorney, of why she felt the need to defend herself. I think right now, it's going to be really interesting, because if you go through the 20 pages like I did, and I didn't get into every single witness, but the witnesses' statements based on what Quadeja Holly Johnson's attorney has, they are conflicting.
Conflicting. Can y'all hashtag be reasonable doubt? Hashtag reasonable doubt. The witness statements are conflicting. None of them corroborate each other. That is a big, big no-no, especially when you didn't reach so far to try to charge somebody first degree. First degree. They had 4 witnesses. One that fell out. He said, hell no, get me up out of here, whatever. I retract. Now you got 3 witnesses, and one of them say it was self-defense, and the other one say Holly was the aggressor, Holly was the antagonizer, Holly was the attacker, Holly was the, talking shit to her and all of that, right? And Carlos beat Romika. He was choking her. He was banging the door on her. He was doing all these things. So the witness statements, Lowe saying one thing, and then you got witness number 3 saying something else. Witness number 2 basically said, I just saw them standing there. He said, I couldn't see none. I couldn't hear nothing they was talking about, but I saw Carlos standing between 2 of them, 2 women. That's it. I seen Carlos standing between 2 women. I ain't seen no shooting. I don't know who was at fault or any of that. That's witness number 2. So none of them corroborate each other. Now, I don't know what the 15, 18, or the 21 witnesses that everybody was saying, but right now it's 3 witnesses, okay?
Mm-hmm. If this is all indeed, fact, it is questionable.
All right, so I have to answer this. She said, Amora, do you think she has voicemail calls to the granny? Let me say this. I'm just going to say this. She absolutely has proof of the call made to her grandmother. She absolutely have proof, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. And proof of some other threats and calls and texts and inboxes. There's evidence, okay?
Of who saw what, and are they sure they saw it? How did they see it? It does matter. I know some people will argue this, but it does matter if you're wearing headphones that are noise canceling and if they're on.
Yeah, sure.
We don't know if they were on.
Yeah.
It don't matter if they was on, Tia. It doesn't matter if the who walks around with headphones on it ain't on in the first place. But it doesn't even matter if they was on. She didn't hear what the hell she say she heard. Period. Who knows if it was on?
Yeah, sure.
We don't know if they were on.
Yeah.
I guess in some video they do show her wearing these headphones, so we don't know if they were on or not. But even if you have huge bulky headphones on with the cushioning, it does distort what you hear. So looking at her side of things now, being able to see it because we never got to see her side of things.
Yeah. Well, then why would you take a story and run with it? Why would you take a one-sided story and run with it when you didn't know the other side? That ain't good journalism. Why would you do that? You did that though, Tia. You did.
Huge bulky headphones on with the cushioning. It does distort what you hear. So looking at her side of things now, being able to see it because we never got to see her side of things. Yeah. It does bring up a lot of questions.
And it was just such a...
Oh, yeah, I bet you it does bring up a lot of questions. Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it, Tia? It brings up a lot of questions, doesn't it? Yeah, okay.
It does distort what you hear. So looking at her side of things now, being able to see it because we never got to see her side of things. Yeah. It does bring up a lot of questions.
And it was just such a chaotic scene as well.
Horrible scene.
So you can also understand that, a recollection might not be actually that accurate in a...
Oh, now she's trying to, listen. Now she's trying to give witness number 3 lying ass some grace, right? It was a chaotic scene. So her recollection it might not be that accurate. So yeah, she might pull a story out her ass, Yeah, she might do that because it was such a chaotic scene. So her recollection might not be on point. Okay, say whatever you want to say. Say what you want to say.
To see it because we never got to see her side of things. Yeah. It does bring up a lot of questions.
And it was just such a chaotic scene as well.
Horrible scene.
So you can also understand that, a recollection might not be actually that accurate in a chaotic situation too.
Yeah, and I think also what her attorney did here was lay out some clear circumstances of where you...
Very clear. When I tell y'all, I gotta go to Chicago and meet Ari one day, y'all. Very clear. She's on her shit is what she's on, okay?
Attorney did here was lay out some clear circumstances of where you have to ask, what are those witnesses going to say when they go on the stand?
Yeah, what they going to say, y'all? Y'all tell me in the comments, what do y'all think the witness is going to say when video evidence proved that they was not where they say they were at the time of the incident? That they wasn't even where they were. What do y'all think? She's saying, I'm just wondering what the witnesses is going to say. What are they going to say? See, what they're going to say was, I didn't know Attorney Ari was going to go and do investigation and find out that I didn't see shit. I didn't know she was going to do that. I didn't know she was going to track my every move. I didn't know she was going to know that my ass was still on the bus down the damn street. I didn't know she was going to see me hiding behind a damn building when the shots rang off. I didn't know that. I didn't know she was going to see me in Chinatown when Romika bust that U-turn. I didn't know that. I didn't know any of that. Okay.
We never got to see her side of things. Yeah. It does bring up a lot of questions.
And it was just such a chaotic scene as
well.
Horrible scene. So you can also understand that, you know, a recollection might not be actually that accurate in a chaotic situation too.
Yeah, and I think also what her attorney did here was lay out some clear circumstances of where you have to ask, you know, what are those witnesses going to say when they go on the stand? I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how.
It's going to be real interesting, girl. We've been saying this over here for a while, that it's going to be real interesting to see Ari dog walk this witness with this evidence, baby. Okay? It's going to be very interesting. So now Tia wants to know, what is the witnesses going to do about the lies that they have told on legal documents? What they going to do? I don't know, y'all. What y'all think the witness is going to do? Huh? She said the backpedaling is hilarious. Baby.
So a recollection might not be actually that accurate in a chaotic situation too.
Yeah, and I think also what her attorney did here was lay out some clear circumstances of where you have to ask, you know, what are those witnesses going to say when they go on the stand? I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out in trial. We do know she's back in court tomorrow at 9:00 in the morning. And again, they are asking for her to be released, saying that she was not a dangerous person beforehand, had no serious criminal history, which we had reported that. We knew that to be true. And so now what happens?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see come tomorrow.
Okay, well, we'll catch back up with you.
All right, so now Tia's backtracking a little bit, right? I you know, she said it was difficult to do. She did a little live on Facebook, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But she said it was difficult to basically come forward on her news channel and say the things that she said. And the reason why she's saying it was difficult, because she had pretty much, you know, was making people believe that the proffer that was read on the first day, that it was solid. And it wasn't. It was not. It was a summary of what the witness has said. The witness has said a lot of things. Like one, she went back and retrieved her weapon from her car. She never went back to retrieve her weapon from her car. It was concealed on her. And a lot of people say, well, I didn't see it. Well, what does conceal mean, you guys? Do anybody know what conceal means? You're not supposed to see it, okay? You're not supposed to see a concealed weapon. So she had her weapon on her. She did not go back to the car and get her weapon. That's one thing. She never advanced toward Romika. That's another thing. That's another thing, right? Romika was on that energy. And Romika ran up on her and swung on her. And she defended herself, okay? But anyway, let's continue, y'all. Now, this one is over on Facebook. You know, she said that doing the one on YouTube was just really hard.
And I'm going to walk you through what Quadeja Holly Johnson's attorney is saying in this case. And that's what we'll focus on. The facts themselves, and when I say facts, this was factually filed. Now, is everything in here fact? We don't know. The court process will prove if it's fact or not. But in terms of the actual filing,
we'll find out tomorrow, right? If the factual file documents are facts, right? Because the judge, right, on the case, because he had another trial that he had to go to, said, I can't look through this 40-page document in this short amount of time, right? So allow me, he said, I want to be fair and I want to actually look through it and I want to watch all the videos. I want to go over all the statements. I want to see your evidence, Ari. I want to see the things that you have, right? So allow me tonight to look at that, and I will give you an answer tomorrow. But he said, but if I let you out tomorrow, you have to make sure you come back to every court date. And Holly said, okay, yes, I will. Okay, or whatever. So now let's continue.
Court document that was actually filed. And it was actually filed in court on Monday. So the 5th at 3:58 p.m. It has a timestamp. Now, I'm not going to publicly put this out because there are circumstances in here and people's names that, in my opinion, deserves to be protected. So I'm not going to get into the who, where.
Now, this is the new document. We don't have this new document, but from my understanding, a few things were added. Okay, a few things that Attorney Ari noted, picked up, evidence or whatever was added. So I don't know if she's going to read it off. If she does, I'll we'll see. Okay.
Why there are witnesses, which I have received several emails of people saying that some witnesses have been threatened. Some witnesses.
There's the Justice for Ramika people. She act like she's scaring somebody because she damn sure ain't scaring me over here. Look at her. Look at her. She like she's scaring somebody. Girl, you ain't scaring nobody. It's some witness been threatened. It's some witness that's been threatened. Who's she scaring, y'all? Oh, not me. Okay, anyway. I've been getting emails. Why would a reporter even say some bullshit like that? What that got to do with the damn anything? Witnesses been threatened. How the fuck witnesses been threatened? Who getting in contact with the witness? They shouldn't have fucking lied.
The facts themselves, and when I say facts,
you already said
this is a court document that was actually filed. And it was actually filed in court on Monday. So the 5th at 3:58 p.m. It has a timestamp on it. Now, I'm not going to publicly put this out because there are circumstances in here and people's names that, in my opinion, deserves to be protected. So I'm not going to get into the who, where, why. There are witnesses, which I have received several emails of people saying that some witnesses have been threatened. Some witnesses' safety have been thrown out there. So yeah, according to them, noise canceling headphones.
Girl, anyway. Ooh,
allegedly were worn by the star witness in this case, one of the star witnesses. Okay. So what I did was boil this down into 8 different slides, okay? I didn't air 8 slides because it would be a lot on TV, but I did boil it down to 8 slides. Instead of doing that, I'm going to go through the portions in which I highlighted that were really like, wow.
Like, wow.
So let's start with this part, and I'm going to try to make this quick. I need to see what time it is. Hold on a second.
I'm going to try to speed her up a little bit. She don't know how to get to the damn point.
Let's see, is it? Okay. So one of the things that Ari Williams, who is the attorney for Cordeja Holly Johnson, is pointing out is that this. I'll read you what it says so that there is no discrepancy in what I'm saying, because I don't want anybody to take what I'm saying, cut it out, and change the context.
We ain't changing your context. We ain't changing your context. The last time you said her body fell in the damn traffic. She didn't took that video down. She didn't deleted that whole video, but she need to come out and tell these people that she lied is what she need to do. Ain't no damn body fell in traffic. Are you blind?
I don't want that. I want it to be straight from this. So I'm going to read it, but I'm also going to protect people in this. So if there is someone, for example, who is named and they should not be named, I'm not going to name them. Okay. So if there's a witness, I'm not going to name them, because what I don't want to happen is someone to go find them, looking them up.
Girl, if you don't get to going.
Other than them knocking on their door, because they're a witness. Whatever they think
we don't give no shit, girl. Read the damn document.
Proffered as well as Mrs. Johnson's back. And that's not your job. So for you, those of you who I have been sent several things about people trying to intimidate witnesses.
That ain't nobody intimidate witnesses. Y'all put it out and we just looked on social media and found them. Stop playing. Stop playing.
That's not your job. Let the legal process play out. That's what you're supposed to do. Let's get to it.
And you supposed to not say bullshit on one side like it's the whole story either, Tia. Tia, that's why I already got your ass straight today, okay? That's why I already got you straight all together, okay? I already got your ass straight together today, okay? Okay? All right, now let's go.
So page 3, and this is stuff that I highlighted that I thought, oh, that was important. It says this new information. So since Ms. Johnson's last detention hearing, counsel has since had the opportunity to speak with her family, review discovery, and understand more about the case than previously proffered, as well as Mrs. Johnson's background. This new information constitutes a change in circumstance sufficient to warrant a redetermination of Mrs. Johnson's detention status, where this court solely relied on allegations that were made against Mrs. Johnson to initially determine her custody status. This court should reconsider its ruling and order less restrictive means. The state is unable to meet its burden of proving by clear and convincing evidence that the proof is evident and presumption is great that Quadasia Johnson in fact committed this offense. The circumstances and facts of this case do not weigh in favor of any of the factors courts consider when determining whether the defendant poses a real and present threat to the safety of any person. Okay? I went on to highlight in establishing self-defense, the defendant must show some evidence that unlawful force was threatened against them. The danger of harm was imminent. The defendant was not the aggressor, that she actually believed that a danger existed. Force was necessary to avert the danger, and the type and amount of force was necessary, and that her beliefs were reasonable. And then they cite a previous case. So that's precedent, which is a previous case that they're using to argue that point in this particular court file. Here's another portion where I highlighted. There are other parts of this, but I'm just giving you, the cliff notes here of what was highlighted. What the state has failed to capture and sensationalize throughout the reporting of this case is the reality and truth. The victim had consistently and through various means threatened the use of unlawful force against Ms. Johnson. Ms. Johnson, her closest friends, her family members, all have been subjected to the victim's incessant and concerning harassment, whether that be via unsolicited calls or text messages. Johnson was continuously being threatened by the victim on her cell phone to the extent that Ms. Johnson had to block the victim's phone number. The threats from the victim were relentless, even having gone so far as to find Mrs. Johnson's grandmother's phone number, calling her grandmother and making it clear that it was her intent to kill Ms. Johnson.
Which is absolutely delirious. You call my grandmother and threaten to KI me? Well, let me just keep playing.
Here's the portion about the order of protection. So we found an order of protection that was not served. According to them, them being Johnson and her attorney, they have something else. So maybe this is an additional file. Order of protection against the victim in December 2024. The order of protection was granted July of 2025, a few months prior to the incident. The victim was served with the order of protection, was aware that this order of protection was placed against her.
Of course she was aware, but Tia being I don't know what her job title is. I don't know if she's a journalist or I don't know if she's just a news person, a reporter. But despite whatever she is, while she's going down there to try to get Holly to speak to her, she should have been going over to the court and seeing, was it a real restraining order, and see the transcripts to see if Ramika got served with these papers and knew about it, right? She should have been doing that, but she didn't.
So there you go. That transcript, a copy of transcript for June 18, 2025 hearing regarding the order of protection was tendered to the court of Ms. Johnson's initial detention hearing. That transcript illustrated, that was my boss. That transcript illustrated the victim's inherent aggression and hostility, not only towards Ms. Johnson, but towards the court as well. The court frequently asked the victim to stop and that she was not doing anything to help her case of why Ms. Johnson needs an order against her. Hence, Ms. Johnson has indeed shown and made clear that unlawful force was threatened against her. Further, the danger of harm was imminent where Ms. Johnson reasonably believed that a danger by the victim existed and the use of force was necessary.
Y'all, I actually had it on 1.25 and I actually put it back on the normal one. So that's not me. That's her ass reading fucking fast. That's her. That's her reading fast. That ain't me.
Okay. Let's get into the day of what happened. And then I'll kind of fast forward through because there's a lot. Okay, so Further, the danger of harm was imminent where Ms. Johnson reasonably believed that a danger by the victim existed and that the use of force was necessary to avert danger that the victim presented on the morning of September 8th, 2025. Hold on one second. Okay.
She said she skipped through the good shit.
After having spent the weekend at the residence of her 6-month-old child's father.
Somebody said, where is the proof of that call? It's coming. And she probably gonna show it. It's probably in the motion that she's showing it to the judge tonight. Who knows? But it definitely, if it makes it to trial, they definitely gonna see it. It is proof of it. Trust. It's coming. Slow your roll. Y'all can't get everything in no one damn day or 3 or 4. But the evidence are coming, baby. They coming. They coming. Hold your horses.
Who you know to be Carlos Smith. Ms. Johnson and Smith drove in Smith's black Mercedes to where Ms. Johnson parked her car. Footage captured from the entrance of the school showed the victim heading inside the school building with the son she shared with Smith. This was at 8:51. The victim was then seen exiting the school building at 8:53. At approximately 8:56, Smith's vehicle was captured coming from an alleyway, turning onto State Street turning left onto State Street and turning right on the Sermon. Smith's vehicle was double parked 2 car lengths in front of Mrs. Johnson's vehicle facing westbound. In moving her child from the rear seat of Smith's SUV, Ms. Johnson placed her child in the back seat of her car. 4 minutes after dropping her son off and exiting the school building at 8:57, a white Kia sedan driving eastbound on Cermak is captured on camera making a U-turn facing westbound on Cermak. The victim owned that Kia. The victim blocked Mrs. Johnson's car by a double.
Do y'all hear this? Block, blockity block, blockity block, blockity block, 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 and it's on camera. So if anybody have ever told y'all that she was not blocked in, can y'all hashtag blockity block, 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 blockity block, block, block? Okay, so blockity block, block, block. Hashtag blockity block, block, block. Okay, because she was blocked in. Okay. What part of blocked in do blockity block, block, block don't mean?
Rear seat of Smith's SUV, Miss Johnson placed her child in the back seat of her car. 4 minutes after dropping her son off and exiting the school building, a white Kia sedan driving eastbound on Cermak is captured on camera making a U-turn facing westbound on Cermak. The victim owned that Kia. The victim blocked Mrs. Johnson's car by double parking her white Kia on Cermak facing westbound. Now, Ms. Johnson Smith did not invite the victim over. The victim took it upon herself to approach Ms. Johnson Smith in an unsolicited manner, yelling at them, saying, "I told y'all I was going to catch you." Now, that is according to a witness who apparently, and this was also captured on body camera, a witness was saying that Carlos Smith was speaking to officers on scene, and that's what was said, according to him. Carlos Smith, and according to this witness. And
it hurt her feelings to say that. It really hurts her feelings to be reading this.
Ensued between Johnson and the victim. Smith noted that Ms. Johnson pleaded with the victim to please leave me alone. That's Carlos's narrative of things. Notably, yes, and this is highlighted, I'm not going through all of it. Notably, yes, September 8th, 2025 was the first in-person encounter between Ms. Johnson and the victim. However, irrespective of it being the first in-person meeting between Johnson and the victim, the encounter absolutely was enough to cause Johnson to be fearful of what the victim could do to her, especially given the victim's history of violent threats against Miss Johnson. And they cite December.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that. She said, I thought she wasn't going to say no names. Uh-huh. You peeped that, right? I thought she wasn't going to say no names. You see that? That's why she said that's Carlos' narrative. She didn't say that's a witness narrative. She said that's Carlos. That's Carlos' narrative. Okay.
A date and time. All right. Somewhere. I think I'm a little lightheaded here.
No, you just a little uncomfortable because you don't like what you're reading. That's what it is. You try to sell one side of a story. She said,
all right.
This lady said she feeling a little lightheaded here. I feel a little lightheaded. She said, I feel a little lightheaded here. I'm going to drink some water because I'm feeling a little lightheaded here. Girl, you better get off that damn camera. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, child.
Ms. Johnson reasonably believed that the use of force was necessary to avert the danger that the victim was posing to her in her trial. The state has also failed to prove, this is according to Johnson's attorney, that Johnson committed the offense.
That's how you know that she is biased as fuck, right? And the reason why I say that, because she keeps saying, according to, she's trying to appease the people, and it's painful for her to be reading that shit. I'm talking about painful, because if not, she'll just be reading a goddamn document. She's talking about according to. We know who wrote that 40-page damn motion.
Properly relying on uncorroborated witness statements that is not supported by video evidence.
Now, did y'all hear that? The witness statements that's not supported by by video evidence. Okay? Let me just say that again. The witness statements that's not supported by video evidence.
Especially given the victim's history of violent threats against Miss Johnson. And they cite December. They cite a date and time. All right, I got it somewhere. I think I'm a little late here.
She fucking that water up.
All right. Ms. Johnson reasonably believed that the use of force was necessary to avert the danger that the victim was posing to her in her trial. The state has also failed to prove, this is according to Johnson's attorney, that Johnson committed the offense when improperly relying on uncorroborated witness statements that is not supported by video evidence. It goes on to say, yet the state is unsuccessful in bringing forth reliable evidence suggesting that Ms. Johnson committed the offense of first-degree murder. Essentially, there is no video evidence at all capturing the shooting, either from the pod camera at the intersection or from bus footage. Witnesses 2, 3, and 4 are all independent of each other. None of the witnesses observed the events of September 8th in its completion, and their statements are entirely inconsistent. All right. So here we go.
Somebody said she's thirstier than a cactus. I'm done.
To talk about these noise canceling feature headphones that one of the witnesses had on, and that witness's statements were inconsistent when you compare it to other witnesses' statements, and then they question, because that person had on their headphones, what they actually heard.
Wait a minute. Let's go back to hear what she just said. Hold on. Hold on, Tia. What did you just say?
From the pod camera at the intersection or from bus footage. Witnesses 2, 3, and 4 are all independent of each other. None of the witnesses observed the events of September 8th in its completion, and their statements are entirely inconsistent.
Oh, inconsistent. Okay, inconsistent. I thought she said consistent. She said inconsistent. Okay.
So here we go. They go on to talk about these noise canceling feature headphones that one of the witnesses had on, and that witness's statements were inconsistent when you compare it to other witnesses' statements, and then they question, because that person had on their headphones, what they actually heard.
Okay.
They say that this witness is wearing large, thick headphones over the head. Such headphones will make it impossible to hear exactly what was being said.
You could tell she don't like this, y'all. She should have just let me read the damn thing.
When other witnesses that did not have on headphones were unable to hear exactly what was being said.
Now, did y'all catch what she just said? Go back a little bit. She said the girl that had on headphones, she said it's impossible for her to have heard what she say she heard when witnesses that did not have on headphones were not able to hear what was being said. Okay? They didn't hear. Witness number 2, the DoorDash driver said he could not hear, and he ain't have on no damn headphones. He said he couldn't hear Shaq, but she on a whole bus, and now she's supposed to be able to hear everything. That DoorDash said he ain't hear Shaq.
So here we go. They go on to talk about these noise canceling feature headphones that one of the witnesses had on, and that witness's statements were inconsistent when you compare it to other witnesses' statements. And then they question, because that person had on their headphones, what they actually heard. They say that this witness is wearing large, thick headphones over the head. Such headphones will make it impossible to hear exactly what was being said. When other witnesses that did not have on headphones were unable to hear exactly what was being said.
Reasonable doubt.
I'm just going through the highlighted parts here. All the evidence presented to potentially incriminate Ms. Johnson is circumstantial and cannot meet the state's burden. Where the state fails to meet its burden of proving by clear and convincing evidence that the proof is evident and presumption is great, Ms. Johnson, in fact, committed the offenses she is being charged with. This court should release Ms. Johnson from pretrial detention. And so it goes on to say, it talks about the shots, inconsistencies with if there was a pause in between the shots or not. We also learned that, according to this, Ms. Johnson was about to begin dental school and that she had a successful lash business, according to this. She is not someone who is at risk of...
She keeps saying, according to this. It's painful, y'all, for her to say this. She don't like saying what she's saying. That's why she keeps saying, according to this. Bitch, we know it's according to that. You reading it. Fuck you mean? She up here talking about according to this. You reading it. See, she doesn't want to take it like that she, she could have possibly been going to dental school. Hell, that's what the paperwork say. We don't know. That's what she said. Right? According to this. According to this. She had a successful lash business according to that. According to that. Damn, you reading it? Of course it's according to that.
Learned that, according to this, Ms. Johnson was about to begin dental school and that she had a...
See, she said it right before that, according to this, and then she's going to say it again. Watch.
Is great. Ms. Johnson, in fact, committed the offenses she is being charged with. This court should release Ms. Johnson from pretrial detention. And so it goes on to say, it talks about the shots, inconsistencies with if there was a pause in between the shots or not. We also learned that, according to this, Ms. Johnson was about to begin dental school and that she had a successful lash business.
According to this.
She is not someone who is at risk of repeating this offense against any of the witnesses, nor the community at large. Ms. Johnson is not a threat. This is according to these documents.
According to this. How many times do she got to say according to this? Oh my God. Can y'all see the bias? Please tell me in the comments, do y'all see the bias? Because why did this woman have to keep saying according to this? She act like she picking up like 5 different documents or some shit. Damn, girl.
Person of the community, and the state will not be able to show by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Johnson poses a threat to the safety to any person or persons based on the articulable facts of this case. So it goes on to say that, in fact, given that the 31-year-old mom has no background, this is the quote here, of a violent criminal history, Ms. Johnson, and then they cite a previous case, has been continuously employed up to the date of her arrest in December of 2025. She has given back to her community. Ms. Johnson was also given a level 3 in her PSA score, where detention was not recommended by pretrial in this new system. They go on to ask.
Right. Ms. Meek says, she says that because she doesn't believe it and wants to make a clear point that is not her belief. Exactly. Which means that she's biased because she keeps saying it, keeps saying it, keeps saying it.
Ms. Johnson could be placed on home supervision or electronic monitoring. Placing Ms. Johnson on electronic monitoring or home detention would allow the court to inspect, direct, and evaluate.
She said, which one? You said rewind it. Which one? According to this 5 times?
So it goes on to say that, in fact, given that the 31-year-old mom has no background, this is the quote here, of a violent criminal history, Ms. Johnson, and then they cite a previous case, has been continuously employed up to the date of her arrest in December of 2025. she has given back to her community. Ms. Johnson was also given a level 3 in her PSA score, where detention was not recommended by pretrial in this new system. They go on to
when she read that state proper, right? She wasn't talking about according to the state proper, according to the state proper, according to this, according to this. She wasn't saying that then. She was saying it like it was a matter of fact. Yeah, her body landed in traffic, and 2 witnesses moved it out of traffic and placed it in front of fucking Holly's car, you know?
ask. Ms. Johnson could be placed on home supervision or electronic monitoring. Placing Ms. Johnson on electronic monitoring or home detention would allow the court to inspect, direct, and evaluate Ms. Johnson's compliance with the terms of her bond conditions. So that is what they're asking for. That is what their filing says. I'm not here to debate, what's true or not. That's what a lot of people on the internet like to do. You have to let this play out. This is what.
Now we need to let it play out. But wait a minute. Why do we need to let it play out now? Huh? Y'all didn't want it to play out before, so why we need to let it play out now? No. Hashtag self-defense in the comments.
I wanted to give you the update as I know it. This is all that I have at this time. Hold on one second. This is what I have at this time. Some of what they point to in this document of exhibits, I don't have those exhibits. But I just wanted to give you a clear understanding of what was filed. And we know that this will resume tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so is her attorney filed motions that you are reading? Yes, this was filed. I don't want to compromise anybody's information, so I'll make sure I do this on here. Okay, this was filed on January 5th of this year at 3:58 in the afternoon. And this is called a motion for relief pursuant to Illinois Supreme Court Rule 604, meaning that this is a motion in which Quadeja Holly Johnson's attorney is asking that she be released from being held based on her history and also based on what they see to be as facts in the case that does not, in their opinion, show that she is without a reasonable doubt guilty of what they're charging her with.
Because she's not.
Which is now 6 charges. So that
is not 6 charges. Oh my God, girl. Ooh, geez.
Have of course, this is in part narratives from Holly, Carlos, and apparently I need to get on set. I'm being told. So let me go. But yeah, so that is what they have, including pod camera video, and that's what we got. And then we know that a bus captured some video, but not the full shooting. Is what we've learned. Thank you so much for tuning in.
She just lied. The bus only captured the damn girl looking out the window at a scene that didn't have nothing to do with the crime scene. Lying ass. But nevertheless, y'all, here she go, y'all. Here she go. Anyway, that is what T is saying today. A lot of y'all in the comments have said that I guess Justice for Ramika people are mad as hell at Tia because I guess she didn't come over here or go over there, should I say, and feed them their Justice for Ramika pink drink, okay? Kool-Aid or whatever, I don't know. She didn't get him the right flavor, okay? She didn't get him what they wanted today. So now they mad at her and saying that Holly supporters got to her, okay? I don't know what in the world. But anyway, so they upset with her. They upset with her real bad, but she'll be all right. She said, so you saying you seen the evidence? No, I ain't seen no evidence. Girl, what you talking about? I ain't seen no evidence. Nope, but the lawyer did. The attorney did. The attorney put it in the motion that she did. She exhibited. She said, exhibit number 1, exhibit number 2, exhibit number 3. That was enough for me to believe it right there, okay? She said, this is a real journalist. If so, she damaged her career with this story. Well, I know she was trying to go down there and get Holly's side, and Ari got her straight. I bet you she won't call Ari no more on that bullshit though. Trying to get Holly to talk so she can incriminate herself or whatever. Why would she be dumb to do something like that? You know? Oh, she damn. How many times she gotta talk? She over here talk. Oh, is it? Wait a minute. Is this
and a lot of court documents to go over, 20 pages. In fact, we already reported.
Well, how many times as a journalist do you do the story? Now she over here again. What the heck? How many times do you tell the same story?
On the murder charge, but now there are 5 more charges. This court document filed just this week lays out the defense's argument for why bond.
She literally took her ass on national TV and lied, talking about it's 5 more charges. She don't know the difference between a charge, a count, or a damn a variation. She don't even know.
The duration should be granted to the 31-year-old pregnant mom. The motion argues that the responsibility to prove the case lies entirely with prosecutors. The defense says the state has not met that burden, pointing out that Johnson has no prior criminal history. She had a license to carry a firearm. Still, the state has said that victim Romika Blackman did not have a gun and did not pose a threat. Now let's go through some of the pages of this motion. The first few pages outlines why Johnson is claiming self-defense, saying she was protecting herself and her 6-month-old child that was in the car at the time when Blackman, quote, ran up and swung. According to the filing, Blackman repeatedly threatened Johnson through phone calls and text messages. The threats escalated to the point allegedly that Blackman told Johnson's grandmother she intended to kill her. At the time, Johnson was pregnant, and according to her attorney, fear for her life and the safety of her unborn child. They also say an order of protection was granted months before the shooting, though we found one that was never delivered. Now, on the morning of the shooting, that was September 8th of last year, Johnson was being driven back to her car by her child's father when Blackman unexpectedly arrived. Both women have children by the same man. Now, keep in mind, Blackman was in that area because she had just dropped off her son. The motion goes on to.
She dropped off her son and hung around for 4 whole minutes. Don't forget that part. 4 whole minutes.
Claimed that Blackman allegedly blocked Johnson's vehicle, approached her aggressively and said, quote, "I told y'all I was going to catch you." The defense also points out there is no video that captured this shooting and that multiple witnesses gave conflicting statements. In one case, attorneys questioned the credibility of a key witness who was wearing noise-canceling headphones at the time of the shooting. Now, Johnson's attorneys are asking for her release under home supervision or electronic monitoring. The 31-year-old pregnant mom remains in custody and is back in court tomorrow at 9 in the morning. Of course, this is a story we will continue to follow. Happen.
Which means, baby. All right, y'all, what do y'all think? Y'all tell me in the comments, what do you think? Is she coming home tomorrow or not? I say, yeah. Y'all tell me what y'all think. She coming home or not? Oh, I know. I peeped that. I peeped the picture she used, and this is the one we're going to use when we talk about her, okay? This is the one we're going to use when we talk about her. But what do y'all think? She coming home or not? I believe that she's absolutely coming home. The fact that let me tell you something that a judge loves. Judge love video evidence. So the fact that Ari did this and she put exhibits, she put the video. Let me tell you something. I got to give this young lady her props because she didn't just wait until the state gave her all of the discovery, right? She went and hired a private investigator, and she went out and got the information that she needed. I don't even think the state would have even tried to track the witness down, right? I don't think that they would have tried to figure out where her locations was at the time of the incident. But Ari did that. And to be honest with you, like, that was a smart ass thing to do. This is your star witness saying all of these outlandish things. You've talked to your client and your client is telling you none of that happened. It did not happen that way. So Ari had to do the extra steps and going to find out the information on her own. Let me find out where this girl was at the time of the shooting. And so she did. And so she did. So not only did she, she found out that she was on a 21 bus because the girl said I was on a 21 bus, right? She tracked her all the way across town from that spot and to the time she actually crossed the street to the scene. She did not cross the street until the police pulled up. Let me say that again. She never was over by them until the police pulled up. Once the police pulled up, that is when she crossed the street with her baby stroller. She was not there. She didn't see no blood gushing out of her mouth after the shots rang. She didn't see that. If she saw blood coming out of her mouth, that was after the fact. That was way after the fact. That's when she was laying down on the ground. Okay, already. So the fact that this witness can make up these things, right? And the 9 seconds she looked out the window wasn't even at the crime scene. It was in a whole nother area. The CTA bus picked it up. The 9 seconds she looked out the window was not the crime scene. So I like the fact that she laid this out with exhibits, video evidence. Now the judge is going to have his hands full tonight. He gets to watch all of that. He gets to see this young lady with her baby stroller, right? He gets to see that she was not where she says she was. He gets to see how she acted on the bus, right? He gets to see when she got off the bus and moved forward and then ended up crossing the street and coming back toward the other way. But when the fire shots rang, her ass was caught on camera hiding behind a whole alleyway. The judge is going to see all of that. All of that. The judge will see all of that, okay? So with that being said, I do believe that he's going to allow her to come home because right now she is being held in jail over a lie. Let me say that again. She didn't get detention because of a lie. She didn't get detention because she was accused of threatening, tormenting, antagonizing Romika, right? She was accused of Romika standing there with her arms folded, and Holly had all the energy. She was accused of running up to she was accused of running up to Romika's car and banging on the hood, saying, "Fight me, bitch, fight me, get out and fight me, bitch." She was accused of going back to her car and retrieving a weapon. She was accused of shooting, well, she said like 2 or 3 things. Shooting Romika while Carlos was still holding her, 2, while Carlos had just let her go, and 3, while Romika was walking away, turning away, trying to leave because she said she was so scared. She was so scared. I saw in her eyes, she was so scared. Also, this woman that was not there when the shots rang said that they did a fist bump of celebration. She's accused of fist bumping her baby daddy in celebration of a kill. So with that being said, she is sitting in jail right now over a lie. Okay? You are innocent until proven guilty. And she would have been out from the beginning had the state not, relied solely on the witness statement, right? And told the judge all of those things, but there were no evidence. There were no evidence. So now that Ari has done her mother effing job, and she didn't went and got evidence that contradicts the witness statements, okay? Contradicts the witness statement, and now she's going to, she's already presented it. The judge will look at it tonight, and I have faith and confidence that Holly will be released tomorrow, okay? She will be able to fight her case from home. Now, I know I said yesterday that I don't think they're going to drop the case, and they may not, but with one witness already done fell out of it, and now that Tia done came out and read the intents, what the defense team is saying, I don't know what's going to happen to witness number 3, but just like Tia said out of her own mouth, what are the witnesses going to do when they got to get up on the stand and they get contradicted by video footage? What are they going to do? What are they going to say? when video evidence showed them being in a whole nother place? How are they going to explain that they were on the scene? How are they going to be able to explain that they heard what they say they heard? How are they going to be able to explain that they saw what they say they saw? How? But today was the first day Tia kind of did a little backtrack and act as if she didn't know that there was another side to the story. She act like she didn't know that there was another side to the story. Okay. So nevertheless, the defense has entered the building. Okay. So now the name of this live is Attorney Ari has upped the ante in the Holly Johnson case. It's not just, oh, it was cold-blooded murder. No, she had reasonable fear to defend herself. Okay. Reasonable fear to defend herself. Now, I did do something. Let me see. Do I have this broken down? I'm going to try to do this quickly. Let me hit refresh. I did a side-by-side. I think this is it. Okay. I did a side-by-side what the state is accusing and how Attorney Ari answered it. Okay. So state versus defense. Okay. Because to be honest with you, that's what we talking about over here. Okay. This really is about the state of Illinois versus Holly Johnson. Okay. So the state versus defense. And this right here is right now is only for the pretrial detention. Okay. But also it will bleed over into the first degree argument as well, a first degree murder argument as well. Okay. But most of it is for pretrial detention because we already know the pretrial detention is not the trial. Okay. The pretrial detention is just really to prove whether or not she is a threat to the community, a threat to the witnesses, and a threat to whoever, right? But the trial is the state has to prove that it was not self-defense, and they have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. There's no way they're going to be able to prove that because of the things that, the evidence that are there, the threats. They're real threats. They are real ass threats. Her baby was there. Right? She was not the aggressor. Romika rolled up on them, right? And what else? The restraining order. Okay? The restraining order and the attack. Okay? Now let's talk about the state versus the defense. So the state argues Holly advanced toward Romika. Holly retrieved a firearm from her vehicle. Holly fired multiple shots with 10-second pause in between each. And it's also, the state argued, this shows intent to kill, not fear. So the state is trying to say she wasn't scared. She intended to kill Romika. Okay. So defense comes back and saying, Romika is the one that initiated this confrontation. What the hell you mean? Romika is the one that made the death threats. Holly reacted during a rapid escalating situation. This was reaction, not pursuant. My client didn't pull up on your client, right? Your client pulled up on mine. Now, the judge question would be, was this calculated behavior or a split-second response? Okay? Now, let's go to the next one. Premeditation and intent. The state argues the shooting was intentional. She intended to do this shit. Words allegedly spoken show mindset. The words that were spoken was, I'm going to kill you, bitch. I'm going to kill you, bitch, right? Behavior before and after suggests planning, okay? The fist bump in celebrating and looking at each other say, it was self-defense, right? It was self-defense, right? That is their everything was planned tactic that they tried to use, right? The defense came back and said, there is no evidence of planning or preparation, none whatsoever. They said this was a sudden passion after provocation, and Illinois law does not equate intentional shooting with premeditation. Now, The key issue: without planning, first-degree collapse. Let me say that again. Without planning, first-degree collapse. All right? Let's go on. The fist bump allegation. The state argues Holly and Carlos fist bumped in celebration. It suggests that it was an agreement, an encouragement, or mindset. Okay? The defense says no video evidence show a fist bump between my client and her baby daddy. Allegations come from your one single witness that was wearing headphones over her head at the time that she said she saw what she saw and heard what she heard, right? She wasn't even over there. Your non-credible ass single witness, right? And the defense argues if it didn't happen, the implication of coordination disappears. The judge concerned, is the state relying on facts or assumption? Wait a minute. Do you have facts that they fist bump? Wait a minute. You told me what? Where is your facts that there was a fist bump? Because if you can't bring me facts, then it is only an assumption. All right. Number 4, who was the aggressor? The state argues Holly is the one that escalated this situation. Romika was unarmed. Deadly force was excessive. The defense come back and say Romika is the one that confronted Holly in a violation of an order of protection. Romika is the one that made the death threats to her, her family, and her son. Okay? And the defense argues aggressors do not get, the defense. Aggressors do not get to dictate the danger that they create. Okay? They don't, the person that's the aggressor don't get to dictate the danger that they create. Let me tell you what that means. They don't get to tell someone how to fight back. You don't get to be the aggressor and then say, wait a minute, I don't have no weapon in my hand. You can't use no weapon on me. I punched the shit out of you and you should punch the shit out of me back. That's it. That's all. Again, aggressors do not get to dictate the danger in which they created. You pulled up. You started this confrontation. You was about this energy. I was minding my mother effing business, okay? Now, the legal focus aggressor status changed everything. Once they find out who the aggressor, it changes everything. It cannot be no first-degree murder if Holly was not the aggressor, okay? Let's continue. The next one, number 5, order of protection. The state argues the order doesn't justify deadly force. Its relevance is very limited. The defense argued Romika knew about this order. Violating it established unlawful aggression, supports Holly reasonable fear. The judge must decide, did the violation make fear objectively reasonable? Okay. Now, number 6, the star witness. The state argued eyewitness heard the dialogue. She was there. She was there, right? She heard the dialogue. Eyewitness observed events very clearly. She saw it, okay? It supports the intent and the sequence that went on. The defense says, whoa, 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 whoa. Witness was 350 feet away, and she was also wearing headphones over her ears. Claims of hearing specific dialogue are physically impossible. She did not hear it. It is impossible. Now, if the witness fails, so does the premeditation, okay? If the witness falls, so does the premeditation, okay? Now, number 7, danger to the community. The state argues public shooting, child present, shows dangerous disregard. The defense says Holly was not arrested immediately. She was out for 87 days. There was no further incidents on her behalf, no pattern of violence in her future. Conditions can manage any risk, which means that she can go home with a GPS. Stop playing, right? The judge asked, why wasn't she detained sooner if she was such a danger to the community? If she was such a danger to the witnesses, well, why was she out for 87 entire days? Number 8, detention versus release. The state argues no conditions can mitigate the risk. Not a GPS, not a supervised, what do you call it? Yeah, a curfew. That's what I'm talking about. Not a curfew, not a GPS monitoring, not supervisory, not a contact order, not her having to surrender her firearm, not home confinement, nothing. Nothing, right? That is what the state's saying. No condition can mitigate risk. Detention is absolutely necessary for the safety of the community. Holly is a danger, is what the state says. The defense come back and says, GPS monitoring, home confinement, no contact order, firearm surrender, and curfew. Yeah, she can do that. She is not a danger. Now, the law says if any condition work, detention must cease, which means that she must be released. If any conditions work, home confinement, no contact order, turn over your firearm, a curfew, or GPS monitoring. If any of those work, she must be released. All right. Now, what does this really come down to? The state must prove certainty. The defense only need reasonable doubt. This motion introduced doubts in intent, credibility, aggressor status, and public danger, which means, like I said, it's more likely that she will be released tomorrow than have to sit 2 damn years for a case, okay? Now, I put this on my Facebook page, but I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know now. The case will not be until 2027, all right? Now, 2027, and I think they said that the judge wanted it over by, I think, January 2028 or maybe March 2028, but one of them, 2028, early 2028, the judge want this shit done and over with, right? But they go back to court tomorrow. There are other motions that was filed, and to my understanding, one of the motions is to seal the documents, okay? They don't want them shown on social media. Now, I don't know if that's going to be granted or not. I guess we just going to have to find out, okay? But nevertheless, I do believe she'll be coming home to fight her case from the comfort of her own dwellings, okay? So that she could take care of herself, still continue her counseling, take care of her son, and, prove her innocence. She don't really have to prove her innocence. I shouldn't even say that because they have to prove that she's not innocent, okay? We have to remember that. They got to prove that it was not self-defense. They need to do that, okay? And right now, there's so much reasonable doubt there already, and we ain't even started trial yet. We have not even we ain't even selected the jury, and there's already reasonable doubt. That's why yesterday I said, I don't think they're going to throw the case away. I think that that it will go to trial. Now I'm like, now when these video footages, when the judge sees it and she's released tomorrow, that's going to be a strong sign that how in the hell the state is going to use witness number 3, because that case is, she's the biggest thing that they have is what I'm trying to say. She's the biggest thing that they have. The shots fired, she said that. The pause between the fire, she said that. The fist bump, she said that. The advancing toward Holly, advancing toward Ramika, she said that. I'm about to get my gun out the car, or I got my gun out the car. She said that. I'm going to shoot you, bitch. She said that. She said all of this shit. She did that. So once the judge see that she was nowhere near the area and she was 350 feet or further away and she could not have saw what she saw, I do believe they're going to let her out tomorrow, and that is going to make it harder for the state. Very, very hard. We are not even nowhere near the trial, and there's already reasonable doubt. Already reasonable doubt, okay? So, with that being said, I will continue to update you guys. Hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So, any questions, or do anybody want to come up and ask a question or chit-chat for a minute, or I'm going to drop the link, and if you want to come up and say something, you can. Now, I have not really been paying attention to nobody, so I don't know who's mad or who's not, but I heard some people send me stuff in my inbox and letting me know that they are angry at Tia. Hey Naja, girl, you want to come up, or you want to? We could always wait till another day. She said the state must prove beyond a shadow of doubt that she intended to take her life. Absolutely, absolutely, without a reasonable doubt. And I'm telling you, it cannot be done. I do not believe, unless they come up with some more evidence that they just figured out, because, right now, they don't have it. They do not have it, okay? And they cannot hold out evidence. They have to turn over evidence as they get it. But now all the evidence has to be turned over by, if I'm not mistaken, January. Hold on. I think January next year. I think January or March, one of those. But they gave a deadline of when it has to be turned over. Oh, let me drop the link. You have to catch this link. You have to click on the link, and I don't know if you've ever done StreamYard. You probably haven't. David, if you want to come up too, you can. I think people thought it was going to be a brawl today, but it wasn't a brawl. They said this judge was not on that type of time. The judge said that he's familiar with what's going on on social media, and he made it very clear, not in his damn courtroom, okay? He said, no, not in my courtroom. Y'all doing none of that foolishness in my courtroom. Hey, how are you, Bermudez?
Hi. Hey, y'all. How you doing?
I am doing well and hope you are.
This is actually my first time getting on somebody's live. I've never done this before. So, hey, everybody.
Hey. Do you know David?
I don't know David, but hello, David. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. So I'm just getting off work. So I kind of just popped on here, but I've been reviewing everything that's been said all day. So I don't want to say anything repetitive, but I'm here. So hey, everybody, let me go see these comments to see what y'all are saying. So
now, did you hear Tia her coverage of what happened today?
Yes. I thought it was quite predictable, because I've been looking at this case from the angle of being a commentator and just making keen observations, not from Team Holly or Justice for Romika, although I do have my own personal thoughts. I've been coming in as a commentator, and people haven't been happy because I've seen a lot of people tend to base this case and what they think the outcome should be based on their own personal experiences or perspectives. And we see a lot of emotion and visceral and anger and nasty words and threats. Like this case has brought out some real bad stuff. Someone, this lady lost her life. So I see why. But I did see what Tia said, and it was not surprising, because when we look at the state's witnesses and who the state is laying their entire case on, I've told y'all what I do in real life. And I was like, okay, is this witness credible? Is this witness reliable? They did not. And we've known eyewitnesses to tell different accounts. They maybe saw something that they thought they saw, or some outright are dishonest. We've seen some inconsistencies in this witness's statement. It's just, that's not my opinion. That's a fact. I'm eager to see what Ari has pulled out. I've studied Ari's ability. Now, while Ari has not handled a case like this before, Ari's going to drown these people. She's a paperwork queen. She's the chaotic. I'm going to give you chaos. I'm going to confuse you guys. I'm going to file motions. I'm going to have evidence kicked out because you didn't dot an I and cross a T on the paperwork, because it happens all the time in court. So the state should be prepared for Ari's case because they know what type of attorney she is. I hope the state is prepared to give a good fight, because they've brought up 6 charges at this point.
Not charges, variations.
Variations of the charge. Yes, I'm sorry, variations of the charge. So they're like, hey, if this one doesn't stick, then we got 5 more. At first, I thought the state was frivolously charging her because of the public outcry. They wanted to show, because it's a known fact that the system does not care about a dead Black woman. especially if it was at the hands of someone else. They were like, all right, this is why it took them 87 days. But now that the public outcry has brought this case and they're having to do something about it, I always wondered, I said, why on earth would they do first degree when they could have perhaps proven manslaughter or a lesser charge? I still have my opinions on why they did that. And this is probably not the time or place for me to say that. But they're reasonable doubt. Naja, did you see Ari's motion? No. Is it somewhere I can go look at it real quick?
I can send it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This is the first one. I can send it to you, but it's pretty much what Tia read off. But no, she actually skipped a lot of stuff. Let me just send it to you.
Okay.
I'll motion. Give me a sec. So, but I mean, I don't think you'll be able to read it now. It's long. You have to read it long. But it's telling. It's very telling. You can definitely tell.
I knew Ari's gonna throw everything in there, including the kitchen sink. Like, this is what she's supposed to do. I'm very interested to see the state's rebuttal. I'm very interested to see how they're gonna shut her down, because the state has a much bigger team than Ari. She's outnumbered and outgunned. I will say that.
Oh, so you think the state is gonna come back with, a big hammer for Ari?
If they don't, then my initial suspicions of them just doing this to silence us and shut us up, then might be true. If they just let Ari steamroll them like this, then did they really care anyway for a first degree murder conviction? Did they really care? I don't think the state brings up charges that they don't think that they can prove, because the state doesn't want to lose. They want their numbers to look good. So I think they're going to have something. I think they're going to come up with something. They might also have other evidence, but things are presented in discovery. So I don't know. Oh, what's this? Okay. I like that. I like that comment right there. Feelings versus facts. Yep.
Where's that? Oh yeah, feelings versus facts. The whole situation is sad, but don't lie to get that girl life taken away because you don't like her. Sad prayers for everyone. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I think that. I mean, yeah. Definitely prayers for everyone, right? Definitely prayers for everyone. But I still believe that I don't think a lot of people believe in self-defense. Have you noticed that? I don't think a lot of people believe in the Second Amendment and don't believe in self-defense, because I've heard like so many outlandish things, like she should have took off running. She should have, hid up under the car. She should have not even been over there because it's too close to.
I don't know how many parents would do this, but an infant was in the car. So was she supposed to abandon her child?
Exactly.
So I don't know about that. And it's speculated that Romika was, and in my very first video that I did, when people got very upset, I said, hey guys, in this situation, the aggressor was the deceased. Even the state has already said that. The state has admitted she saw them, she came around, so she approached them. That doesn't mean you're supposed to die. I do not think because you are the aggressor in a situation that you're supposed to leave your life. Like that's dead on that. So now they have to prove, did Holly have intent to take her life? They have to prove, why was Romika there for malicious intent? Did she just want to talk? Did she want to squash things? Like, that also has to be talked about.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I don't know. I don't know. Her attorney, Ari, says that she swung on her. So I don't know if she talks with her hands. I mean, she might be a whole Muppet or something,
Well, I don't know anything about them actually having a physical confrontation. But I did hear from a lot of sources. I saw Holly was looking disheveled afterwards, but I don't know if they had a physical. Did the witnesses say they saw them fighting?
No witness.
The witness that I talked to did not say that they saw them fighting. They said they saw the talking part of it, like when they were arguing and going back and forth.
Right. No witness saw the shooting. So they didn't see the shooting, which means they didn't see right before the shooting.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Does anybody else think that she's gonna get some sort of time?
So I ain't gonna lie, it was looking kind of flaky at first, right? I was like,
Mhm.
ooh, because I was like, ooh, they might try to, get her on that it was not reasonable, right? But
Mhm.
then I was like, if they get her on that, then it's gonna be murder two or second degree, right? That's what I was thinking. But then when I found out that they have to find her guilty of murder one, which is first degree, before they can even get to murder two. And that's when I was like, you know what? They will never be able to find her guilty of first degree. And the
Yeah.
reason being is because with a self-defense case, a self-defense claim being raised, they cannot convict her without should I say beyond a reasonable doubt, because look at all the things that's in place. She had a restraining order. She was getting threatened. Her son was getting threatened. He was right there on the premises with her. And then her body landed right by Holly's car. So there's so many things, and the fact that they don't have the shooting on video, they
Yeah.
have no evidence of it or whatever. And then witness number three not being credible,
Mhm.
meaning that she didn't see what she said she saw, didn't hear what she said she heard. And that's
Mhm.
when I was like, it's no way that they will be able to convict her beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah. Well, we've seen, I don't think that there's a way to predict the outcome of what will happen. Because as I said on my most recent video, it's whomever presents the best version of their own truth. Meaning my truth can be different from your truth and we saw the same thing, but I have to present the better version. So we just don't know what side is going to do that.
However, you got to look at this though, Nigel. With no video evidence and your star witness has been compromised, right?
Mhm.
How in the how can the state prove that with no witness, no good witness, because credibility matters.
Mhm.
So no good witness and no video. How in the world can the state convince 12 people that what he say happened?
Yeah. How can they do it? Unless there's some sort of witness that we don't know about that hasn't been deposed yet. I don't know. I would love to hear everybody else's opinion though. I'm sure y'all been talking a long time. I see y'all been on here for 2 hours, but I want to know what everybody else think.
What you think, David? David is one of Carlos' close friends. What do you think,
Okay. Hi,
David?
David.
Hey, y'all, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the panel.
What do I think?
Yes.
I think she coming home tomorrow, and once she comes home, that case falls to shit.
So you think because I did hear that it's harder to prove your innocence behind bars. However, if you're out, it's easier.
Yeah, it's easier because you got to think about it. While she's out for what? How when they say they got to have the trial over with by 2028?
Yeah, by 2028.
You know how many other cases is gonna come across that state's attorney's desk within that time? Being
Thousand.
that being right, exactly being that this is Chicago, so that this case is gonna fall by the wayside. And once that time comes up for trials to come up, I don't think that state attorney that they have assigned to the case is gonna be ready because he's already handling thousands of other cases.
Mm.
It's gonna be dismissed
You think it's going to be dismissed before trial or
it,
during trial?
before trial. If she goes home tomorrow, that case is gonna be dismissed before trial.
Mm. What you think, Cassie and Truth in the City? Welcome, y'all.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing
Honestly,
good.
I mean, like I said, I haven't been following this case long. I'm just like getting bits and pieces of this story.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I really didn't want to delve into this story too much because it was a very sensitive topic. Um, but as the evidence and everything is coming out, things are unfolding, and just by looking at the reporters response today, it really kind of like opened my eyes a little bit to say, you know what, maybe this young lady did act in self-defense. And I'm gonna say this because I was on my platform earlier before you went live, and
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about this very same reporter and how she was telling the same story. And I even was telling the people in the chat, I even gave my daughter, who's only 16 years old, the same scenario. You know, I put
Mhm.
myself in Romika's spot. And I said, what if I pulled up on your dad and his new girlfriend, knowing that
Mhm.
I had an active TPO and wanted to fight, ready to fight, and I got killed and shot? I asked her who is in the wrong, and she said, "Mama, I got to be honest with you. It's you."
Mm.
So at the end of the day, I mean, we have to, when we take our feelings out of this, our emotions out of this, we can start to see things a little bit more clearer. Nobody is going to tell me that when they get pulled up on by anyone, that they're going to run and get in their car or run
Right.
from the scene knowing that they have a weapon on them to use, and knowing the amount of interrogation, I can say antagonizing from both sides. You know what I'm saying? There is no way and for her to say, from according to what Tia said, when she pulled up on him, she got out, and what did she say? I
She got
finally
told
caught
y'all
you, or something like that.
I was gonna catch y'all, or I was gonna reduce.
Right.
Yeah.
So if she
Mhm.
said, I told y'all I was going to catch y'all, there had been prior conversations where she already had threatened them.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you right. I didn't think
Yeah.
about that.
She didn't have
I didn't
prior
think about that.
conversations for her. She went there, and that was a reminder of what she already had said to them.
And that's the conversation I told you about,
Yeah.
Amora, when I told you they were on the phone talking cordially for about 25 to 30 minutes. And then at the end of the conversation, she said, "You all right, you cool, but when I catch you, I'm still gonna beat your ass."
Oh
Right.
yeah. Right. You did
She
tell me.
already threatened them. Yeah.
What did they?
Yeah.
Why would? I mean, who called who during that 25-minute conversation, and how did it go before she gave that last statement? They were like, "Okay, we're gonna be cool. You can have him." How did it go? What was the conversation about?
No, it was just like a cool, cordial conversation. This is how it was told to me. It was a cool, cordial conversation. They wasn't going off at each other on the phone or nothing like that. But at the end of the conversation, she said, you I, you cool, but when I catch you, I'm still gonna beat your ass," and then hung up the phone.
Okay,
And
damn.
her and Carlos was just looking at each other like, damn, where the fuck did that come from? Like, really? Like, for real?
Okay, so peace was not a part of the plan at all.
No,
Mm.
it's obvious she did not pull up to tell her baby daddy hi. Hey, baby daddy.
But a lot of women want to think so. A lot of women
Yeah.
was like, she wasn't even there for Holly. She was just there to speak strictly to her baby daddy. She just wanted to talk to her baby daddy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, then how did she get in Holly's space then? How did she make it over there?
And
Hey,
the state
Amora.
will have to defend that.
Hey, Cassie, what's going on, lady?
Hey, remember when I came on your chat a few weeks back and I said, I wonder what time Ramika took her son to school because it seemed like she had been sticking around stalking them. And you
You
had said,
did say
nah.
that.
Yeah, you was like, nah, I think it was just by coincidence. And I'm like, nah, I don't think it was a coincidence.
You did say that. You did say that. And now, did you hear that, Naja? So
Hmm.
the reporter says in the document it states that when she dropped Lil Los off at school, it was 4 minutes when she left. Should I say it was 4 minutes before she bust that U-turn? So they actually caught her car driving. They say in the opposite direction of them,
Hmm.
but I heard she passed them and then did a U-turn and came back. So I don't know what in the opposite direction mean, but apparently she hung around for 4 minutes, right, driving or whatever, and then she busted a U-turn and made it back to them. So she may have been waiting for them.
Oh, so if that is proven, then that makes the state's case even more fickle.
Well, it's on video. Now I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how Ari is going to be able to say that that's what she was doing, because she could just say that, she skipped a turn or, an exit or something. I don't know. But
Absolutely.
it does say that that they found her. She's I'm getting down. Thanks for letting me up. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Truth in the City. So, but it's just amazing how this camera footage thing worked, because they got her leaving the school on camera.
She
It's
left the
crazy.
school. So wait, according to the footage, she dropped the baby off at school and then
Hmm.
she went somewhere and contemplated and then came back to approach them.
No, so they saw her riding down the road, but they said that she was driving in the opposite direction
Uh-huh.
of Holly and Carlos. But I don't remember seeing opposite direction when I read that motion. I'm gonna have to go back through it tonight, because I do not remember. Matter of fact, I could probably open it now. I don't remember it saying she drove in the opposite direction. I think that might be something that Tia just threw in there.
Well, I mean,
But
I think she's referring to, because Carlos now was facing west. So I believe that she was on the other side going east, and then she busted to
so
turn
what does that
west.
mean in layman's term? Like, did she pass them? Because that's what I thought I read,
Yeah,
that she
she had
passed.
to pass them. She had to pass them even to get to the light to make the U-turn. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So she,
because that center divider where they were parked at, and that center divider of the street, you do pass them to come up to make the U-turn.
Okay, so she saw them apparently. Well, we don't know. We can't say she did, but she passed them, and then she busted a U-turn and came back and then double parked. And it's all on camera. It is on camera. I think that's strong evidence for the defense, because it definitely shows that she pulled up. She definitely pulled up. And it also says it's on camera that she blocked them in. And a lot of people wanted to argue about, she wasn't blocked in, she wasn't blocked in, she wasn't blocked in, she wasn't blocked, she was blocked in. That's why I just, that's too much reasonable doubt. That's too much reasonable doubt.
Um, have y'all already talked about the fact that, because there's a couple people in your comments saying, and they're talking to David, they're saying, was Holly pregnant at the time of this attack?
I don't think David would know that. He's not in Holly's cooch.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't know that, but that's what Tia just said. That's what Tia just said when she was doing her report.
because
That
from my
that
understanding, she was 7 weeks pregnant when she went in jail. And Tia said today that she was 12 weeks pregnant. So it's about 3 months, right?
Somebody said it's an 8-lane highway. It's not 8. That's why I
it's
pulled
not
it up.
eight. It's not 8. It's 4.
It's 4. Yeah, it's not 8. So, and you guys, it's not only is it not 8. Oh no, it is. Hold on. Is this a parking lot? Let me see. Is that 2 or is that 3? Hold on. Is this a parking lot right here, David? I mean, not parking lot, but dang, I'm trying to get back on the road.
I
Is
mean,
that
if you
considered
count,
a parking lane? Is what that is, right?
yeah, that's the curb.
No, I'm
But
saying, how did I
we
make it
don't.
go back here?
But
Okay, so 1, 2.
yeah, it's 2 lanes.
Yeah, so so where she pulled up at was like, it was really illegal parking, or no?
I mean, yeah, double parking in the city of Chicago is still illegal. She
Yeah,
did
okay.
you she hopped in that turning lane where that minivan is and
So she was
made the
here.
U-turn right there. Yeah.
Oh, she made a U-turn right here.
Yeah.
Oh, and then 3 cars up is the crime scene. 1, 2, 3. She saw them. Oh, she absolutely saw them. She saw them. If she made the U-turn right here,
Yeah, where the minivan is. Yeah.
she made this U-turn, and then let's do something right quick. How do I make I forgot how to do that thing again. I forgot how to do it again. Yeah. Oh. But anyway, if she made that U-turn over here, and so that means she saw them, because then Carlos was right here, the 3rd car up.
Yeah, the third car. Yeah.
Yeah, third car up. So yeah, it's crazy work, crazy work, crazy work.
Uh-oh.
But no,
Yeah.
she said if she was pregnant at the time, hold on. If she was pregnant at the time, Romika attacked, that gives them even more credibility to help self-defense case. What you think? What you think about that, y'all? What do y'all think? If she find out that she was pregnant at the time, or if she knew she was pregnant at the time?
I just asked him to do the math. The shooting was September 8th. The claim is that she's 12 weeks pregnant. Candy Girl says October 15th. Like, if you do the math, that might have been the time that she got pregnant. So it looks like it's about a month after, a little over a month after the shooting.
So the shooting was September, so October.
September?
So that means that
Yeah,
she would have got
September 8th.
at 12 weeks if she was 12 weeks.
Wait, I'm looking at the comments now. I'm not good at math. That's why I can't, y'all. So that's why I'm asking y'all. Okay.
So meaning if she 12 weeks today? Did
Well,
she say she's 12 weeks today?
Did Tia say that she was 12 weeks?
I don't
She
remember
didn't.
her saying 12
In
weeks.
that report that you just played, Tia said that she was pregnant at the time of the incident.
But I remember
Would they
when
even ask a woman that though? Would they ask them that?
I don't know how it goes when you get locked up, but I mean,
Didn't they say that the night that she had got arrested, that she
I think when we all
Holly
found
got
out she was
sick,
pregnant.
Holly got
Yeah,
sick, and they took her to the hospital.
yeah, she went to the hospital that night. So they haven't established how many weeks far along she was.
I just think
Did they?
that's a HIPAA violation. I don't understand.
That's
I don't
probably
understand.
that's probably why on that court date on the 23rd she already did mention something about a HIPAA violation.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I don't think that you can say she's this much pregnant, that much pregnant. That's a personal thing.
well, the only people that can violate HIPAA are your medical practitioners. Like, your lawyer can't do that. That's just messy if a friend does it, but I can't violate nobody's HIPAA rights because I don't hold any licensure in that area. So
Wasn't it
But they
said
said
that
somebody
somebody
at the
that worked in
jail
that
did.
field, somebody that worked
oh,
whatever hospital she went to, they leaked the
Yeah,
information.
yeah, it was a rumor that
oh,
a nurse
From the
had
jail.
yeah.
yikes. Okay.
Yeah, because she said she wants to find out who did it.
Tracy says women take pregnancy tests when they go to jail, especially if she isn't getting out anytime soon. So perhaps they just gave her the standard pregnancy test.
Oh, they do? Okay, so I didn't know that came with the outfit. So
It
they give you
says Tammy says somebody in jail leaked her pregnancy documents.
Oh, they did?
Who knows? I mean, who knows? But now we all know that she was pregnant. And if she was at the time, that does give more credence to the fact that she was hormonal and protective. And if she wasn't, if she was if she took that girl's life and then got knocked up a month later, I mean, that doesn't look necessarily amazing. But
how does that
what
play
it is.
into anything? How would that play into anything? What is her having sex?
I think the
So
optics of it all. You
can't go get a
I think it's
nut.
just about the optics, like, oh, this person is, because people want you to suffer when they're suffering. You took my loved one's life. I don't want to think of you over there having sex, creating a human being, creating a life. I think the state will be able to say that she was malicious. She's narcissistic. She wasn't thinking. I think if she was not pregnant at the time, it's like, wow, she's out there partying, having sex. When then little Los doesn't have a mother. Yeah, this is what lawyers do. They paint stories and they paint pictures that they need to paint to the benefit of whatever they're trying to defend or prosecute. So
I don't know about that one. I mean,
I
so
bet you they say it in their argument. If she wasn't pregnant, the state will definitely, when we read the transcript, they're going to say that.
They're gonna say she had so if you're involved in a crime like this, you should just not do anything pleasurable. That means that you shouldn't smoke weed, you shouldn't go drinking, you shouldn't celebrate a
you shouldn't get caught doing it. You need to look like you are sympathetic and empathetic. You can do
But
what you want to do.
that's not law. She ain't got to be sympathetic or empathetic toward that girl.
But remember what happens in court. It's who tells the best version of their truth. They have to make Holly look like a cold-blooded intentional killer.
And they're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to do that. Not when she got a whole bunch of death threats against her life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be able to do that. But I don't know about the having the sex thing. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But I don't think
It's not
that's
illegal to have sex, but I'm saying the optics of how the so can make it look. They have to make you look like you are a bad, awful person that doesn't care about the carnage that you've created. So they're going to use everything that they can. This is just one of the things that they'll use. They have to show that Holly intended to take her life that day. So they're going to say whatever they need to say, and y'all can't really disagree with me on that one, because wouldn't you say if you were defending the state, wouldn't you say anything you could to make this case stick?
Of course, but I wouldn't pick the case up if I didn't have solid evidence. So, I don't think I would pick up a case off of one shaky witness, and no video footage. I don't think that I would do that.
That's true.
I'm asking.
Somebody on here says, I understand what Naja's saying. See, somebody understand. Thank you. They have to make her look like a malicious gun-toting killer.
So what it says, does remorse matter for a first-degree charge? It says, for the charge and the conviction, remorse does not determine guilt for first degree. What the prosecution must prove is intent to kill or do great bodily harm, knowledge, felony murder circumstances. Remorse is not an element of crime. However, it says, why juries still notice remorse, even though it is not required. While not legally required, jurors are human. Visible remorse can influence credibility. Lack of remorse is often misused by prosecutors to suggest cold, lack of empathy, consciousness of guilt. So this is risky territory because people react differently to trauma. Shock, fear, or disassociation can look like no remorse, but the law does not require emotional performances. So
it doesn't require it, but it surely helps.
It looks good, but to the jury though. So I don't even think that her pregnancy will come up to the jury, but I don't know. I would be like, get out of my personal medical business, I don't think they need it. They don't need to speak of it to beat their case. I don't think they need it, but I mean, everything.
Doesn't need to introduce her pregnancy
as a reason she took extra precautions. I don't think they need it as a reason that she made the decision that she made. But I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to hear because the attorney did put it in the paperwork.
Yep. Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what the state is going to come back with. Oh, you mean you was laying up and getting it on and getting pregnant while, they were planning a funeral? I mean,
they're going to say all that. They're going to say it because they need to taint the jury's image of their suspect. They're going to say everything that they can. And just like Ari is going to attempt to taint the image of the deceased, to taint Romika and make her look like a bad person, a monster, aggressor. Like this is their job, to make the other person look awful. So it's just going to matter who. Absolute character, exactly, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, with the videos that's out on Romika,
it doesn't.
And the videos to come.
Oh, there's more. Oh,
it's hundreds more.
Yeah, there is more video, but
it doesn't make her look. Yeah, it doesn't make her look. Just like so much. I guess you can say a bully, for lack of better words.
Which one?
I guess the videos. Yeah. And I say
Oh,
that because we don't have any videos of Holly in bully mode or fighting or threatening. Like if we had those, then it's like okay. So perhaps the state will pull some evidence out of Holly threatening her and baseball bats and knives, and
I
if
think
that
the
stuff
only
exists.
I think the only videos we got of Holly is her bad dancing. Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, okay, and that's not a jailable offense. Yeah, that's
According, hey, according to Justice for Ramika, yeah, she
oh.
should be locked up for no rhythm.
Well, if that's the case, I would get life because oh we okay. Well,
Me,
hey,
me too.
yeah, yeah. Mm. You know, if this is a case where Holly does end up not getting a first degree murder charge, and if Ari doesn't seem like the type to plead down, so if it's a case where she does end up walking, I do hope that the Romika's supporters and the people that want to see justice for her, I hope that they're able to accept the verdict. And you know, I hope that they can say, okay, what did we learn here? I've been saying this from day one. Hey guys, what have we learned from seeing this unfortunate scenario? David, I know that you're Carlos's friend. I've given my opinion on him juggling two women and being the man in the middle and triangulating them both. I've been very honest about, you know, about that and my feelings about his responsibility in this. Not a legal or criminal responsibility, but from a moral and ethical standpoint. What he did is, you know, it's awful. He's he was on some, you know, typically some F boy stuff, as they say. I'm trying not to use
I
language.
mean, according to him, he wasn't having any dealings with Romika in that fashion.
Um, from my understanding, there was some overlap in the relationship, but that still does not negate the bullying and the harassment that happened.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But still, you know, it's like, but we can see why people can be extra emotional, especially if Romika had a pattern of acting out in these ways when she was upset with him or she felt wronged. And it's like, you know, you kind of don't want to piss that type of person off. And I'm not blaming him for what happened that day, but the events leading up to it, your boy didn't help.
I mean, I guess you probably have to talk to him and hear his side. I can't. I wasn't there for all of his relationships and ventures. I mean, I do
Yeah.
know a lot of his exes and everything, but yeah,
When this
you
is
probably
all
have to talk
over,
to him.
you know what? I don't talk to people that are involved in active investigations, but once this is done, when it's done, I do look forward. If he's willing, I absolutely want to ask him some hard questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, I absolutely would love to do that. And, you know, anybody from all sides, actually. I want to know their feelings, opinions. I want to know, has anybody had a change of heart? Because there's still a little boy that needs to be raised and reared. And, you know, he's in the middle of this now. Because if all goes well for Holly, she and Carlos will be together and he will be with the woman that took his son's mother's life. Like, how can she be around the child? You know, they have a lot to figure out if Holly doesn't have to do time.
Correct.
Yeah. Either way, it's gonna be a tough road ahead.
I
Even
agree
looking
with
at best case scenario.
I agree with that. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah. I mean,
When
if
you
he.
said
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, when you said what you learned from this, I think like Mag TV, keep your hands to yourself. I think this will make more people stop thinking that they can just run up on people and attack people. You know what I'm saying? Keep your hands to yourself, one. And then he went on to say, marry before carry and establish healthy relationship with your biological father, you know?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I
That's
but keep your hands to yourself will be probably number one because a lot of people are on that energy. I'm gonna put hands on you. I'm gonna put hands and paws and feet on you. Okay. Well, everybody ain't gonna let you do that. Everybody ain't gonna play these games with you. Everybody ain't about to be running around scared of somebody that's gonna whack them at any moment or whatever. People ain't
this
gonna
is
keep
true.
living their life in fear if
No,
they are.
absolutely not. You know, if it comes down to it, perhaps, you know, There's a lot of PTSD that I'm pretty sure that if Ari wanted to bring in a psych, bring somebody in for that, then they could easily prove that this girl had PTSD, and that makes us do some even more egregious things. So I don't know if it's gonna come to that, but she could do that. Like that could be an angle. Holly was mentally tormented. Um, that can be an angle because when I made my video, I was like, I'm thinking of all of Ari's angles. We know the state's angles, but what is Ari? How is she going to play this for her client? Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, her self-defense claim is strong. She has all the pieces to the puzzle to win on self-defense.
Right. And her using the weapon, I don't know, because who's to say if, like, I know a person here, I was friends with both of these people. They got into a fight after we left a party one night. It was a fist fight, no weapon, nobody had any weapons. And one of the guys fell backwards. He hit his head on the concrete. He never regained consciousness. He was in a coma for 3 days and then he died. So the initial charge was assault and then it was escalated to murder. So, I'm not a fan of fist fighting. Like, I'm not going to fight nobody because you could still take somebody's life. You can get your life taken and you could be a good fighter and just meet your match that day or have one slip up and then now now you're in the past.
I showed a video. I don't know if I should show it today, but I showed a video of a young lady that was fighting, and she unalived another young lady with just her hands, and now she's facing charges because
possible.
She with her hands.
Some of the best fighters can trip and fall and crack their head. It's just it can happen. That's not a risk I'm willing to take. Like I will run high speed from a fight, but if I'm backed into a corner and I had a weapon, I'm not going to let anybody do physical harm to me, and I can't get away.
And your baby in the car as well.
And my baby.
Amora, I have a question for Naja.
Okay, I'm gonna put it on mute. Go ahead.
Just hypothetically speaking, if this shows that Carlos didn't have any dealings with Romika and that she just couldn't let go, she couldn't co-parent, she couldn't deal with the fact that he was with someone else, regardless of the past of him cheating, would you feel different?
I would not. So I don't think that he has any sort of legal, like I know a lot of people want him indicted, even, people that are in the law, they want him indicted, but legally we can't really see where he did anything wrong. Morally and ethically, it did suck that there was overlap. However, the fact that she looked like she had a pattern of stalking, harassment, Holly decided to take it to court. I don't know if they've heard the recordings of that day in court when they were both on the Zoom with the judge. I don't know if your audience has heard that or you've given that to your audience, but it did look like there was a compulsivity on Romika's part. I've even heard, and I have no way to verify this, that there were other lady friends of Carlos's that she went after, that she showed aggression towards. So I do see a pattern. Would that change my mind if I didn't, like, even if they were both dealing with each other? No, that still doesn't give you any reason to run up on somebody. So no, would it? No,
towards him, not.
Oh, does it change how I feel about? I mean, I think dealing with multiple women is kind of a scummy thing, but he wasn't a married dude. So, morally and ethically, I guess it doesn't really matter because I don't think that he could control her. I don't think he could control Romika. The witness that I spoke to that did give their statement to the police, and I can be very honest with y'all and tell you after that, I did not communicate with that witness anymore. So I will see, just like y'all, if they give some sort of statement and testimony. I've not spoken to them since then, but what they told me is they were like, they saw him trying to hold her back. They saw him trying to push her in her car, like, go, 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 leave, leave, leave. So he couldn't control her. If he had gotten back in a relationship with her, he still probably couldn't control her I don't know if she was categorically violent. That's probably something David can attest to, because maybe he's witnessed some things. He's witnessed some of the stuff that we saw snippets of on the video. Video only showed us one part of her, the negative part.
Have you seen the latest video? The
Amore, the one you post, the one that Mora posted.
Mhm.
Okay, I did see it on her page, but then I hurried up and hopped on here, so I didn't watch the whole thing. But stabbing with scissors, that is not. When we think of fighting in anger, that's a step above. I'm just mad at you and I don't like you.
Right.
That's not a normal reaction to a stimuli, to a negative stimuli, unless she felt threatened. That's not what we call normal. That's egregious. That's abusive. That's abrasive. That's very aggressive.
Right.
I hope I answered your question. I'm not trying to talk in circles, y'all. I'm not trying to.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
I
Yeah,
want
but
to
I
show
think-
you. I don't know if you've seen it. This is the one I was telling you. I mean, she takes her life, but she's not.
Oh no.
She's not DEA right here, but she goes home and have bleeding on the brain, and she passes away. And this girl get charged with.
Yeah.
I think she got charged with. I don't know what she got charged with, but I know it's murder.
Oh, she's beating this girl in her head.
She's gonna kick her. That right there.
She's. Ooh, okay. She's gone limp.
Oh, God.
Please tell me she's not gonna touch her again.
No, she's gonna come back talking crap about her, like she biggity bad. But that girl,
she's limp. She is out.
yeah, she went home, and I think either the next day or the day after that, she passed away from bleeding on the brain.
And so now this became a street fight that turns into a murder charge.
And look how many people are around watching it, right? And no one stopped. Like, look at all these people. Look at these people. They just sit up there watching this girl get her life taken from her. And this girl.
But that girl didn't go to. It looks like they had some sort of party. That girl didn't get dressed up and go to the party to say, "Oh, I'm not gonna make it home." You know, Romika didn't take her baby to school thinking, "I ain't gonna make it home." But things happen. We can't control our impulses. We can't control our impulses, and then we got how many people sitting in the penitentiary right now because they couldn't control a quick impulse and they regret it to this day.
Right. And if they had a chance to do it all over again, they would have walked off. They would have ran. They wouldn't have talked junk back. A lot of people. I'm sure they sit up there questioning their behaviors or their reactions.
I would rather get called a coward than lose my life for some menial argument that don't mean nothing.
Exactly.
I run high speed away because I'm like, okay, I just want to get home to my family. But, you know, our ego comes into play. We can't control our emotions. We have unchecked mental illnesses, undiagnosed mental illnesses at play. So, you know, I think all of that might be used in this case.
She said, what about the I Would Never video? So the I Would Never video, I don't know if it's even going to be shown because she never mentioned a name. What do you think about that I Would Never video? I know you've seen it, right?
Who you talking to, me or?
Yeah, you. Or anybody on the
I saw it, and the first thing I saw is I said, oh, these two women are antagonizing one another online, because I saw that they would make these subliminal posts, which you do if you got beef with somebody. If that's where you are. So I was like, oh, okay, that's like a subliminal post. She did that to piss Romika off. She didn't say Romika's name, so I can assume it was Romika.
Right, but so is that admissible in court?
I'm waiting on
and
you to send that.
It's before the restraining order was in place.
And if you have a restraining order on somebody, I mean, you're not supposed to do things to antagonize them. Like, you can't tag them on social media. So even if the restraining order was in place and she made that video,
it was before it. So she did the video in January, and the restraining order wasn't in effect until July.
Even if the restraining order was in place, it would not matter, because it's like, oh, that was a messed up, it'd be a sucky thing to do, but it's like, okay. And
it's a troll, but it's not a threat, is what I was told.
And if Romika would have made an I Would Never video, she's not she would not have been violating the order at all.
Right, because especially if she don't use her name.
Yep.
Right.
That's not a violation to throw subliminal posts at another baby mama.
Right. She said you can't be an antagonist on the day of the tragedy prior to September the 8th. That never video doesn't hold much weight. No, it doesn't.
Because they can be like, hey, y'all, this is a petty woman fight. Like, but online fights do matriculate into real life all the time, though. We've seen a lot of cases. Now it's like, hey, what was that shit you were saying online? And then boom, we're in real life now. Now we got a big problem. But even if Holly had never made that video, Romika, it sounds like she still was gonna get the smoke. Even if Holly would have blocked her and said absolutely nothing, the fact that I think Holly could have left Carlos alone and that she wouldn't be in this situation. If she would have left Carlos alone, Romika would have been like, okay, so you're not competition. You're not in my ex's life anymore. I can focus on another one.
I can't agree with that because she have a baby by him. So it would have never been leave him alone completely. So I don't think that was even possible.
If Holly would have said, you know what, you win. I'm not going to be in a relationship with him. We just going to co-parent. Romika would have probably been her friend because they could attend birthday parties together. She would have been like, all right, I'm in control now, because the videos that I saw, they look like a person that felt like they did not have control. And so in order to exact control, I have to, and I'm speaking all speculative, y'all. I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, and the text messages that we saw,
Yeah,
Romika said, "There's no way in this world there's nothing in this world she would ever accept that baby."
Oh, well, damn. Oh, okay.
She
So
even
there was-
said, Amora, you said that she even said something worse than that about the baby, like
About
about Carson.
About the cat box?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is disgusting.
Okay.
Yeah.
She wanted Holly to be erased out of the picture completely. Like basically Carlos not talk to her, not nothing anymore. And with Carson in the picture, that would have not been possible.
No way. Not unless he said, I'm going to abandon Holly's child.
And that's basically what she wanted.
Okay.
It's going to come out.
So according to that, there would have been no solution then unless he would have abandoned the child. That best case scenario for there to have been some semblance of peace is like, okay, that girl and her baby got to go.
But then there was no trust with him. So then it would have just been a problem either way. Eventually, it would have just escalated to something different. Someone would have got hurt.
From my understanding, is this the first person that is Holly the first person that there's been of Carlos's that there had been run-ins with?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, there were many more.
Yeah.
Many more.
Ari is going to use that. That's just something that Ari is going to show.
Yeah.
It's Ari's job to destroy how and we don't want to think of anybody talking bad about the deceased. That's someone that's gone on to glory. But Ari's job is to destroy and taunt and her character, or even, or show how she presented in this life.
Yeah, there was a picture that was put up of Romika, and she was like in a fairy outfit. It probably had been like Halloween or something.
Mm-hmm.
And a young lady posted a comment under it and said that she spit on my baby. It was eventually going to happen.
She spit on my baby.
Yeah.
And
I don't know too many people.
Another woman, I'm assuming you're talking about another woman.
Spit on their baby. Like, I don't know if that's going to be a general conversation piece.
Ari's going to use that. If that person has come forward and If she's a good attorney and has a great paralegal, that means they are scraping social media for all of the videos, all the comments. They, they build their cases off the stuff that we say and the evidence. So if she knows that, then that's just something else that she'll have in her arsenal.
Yeah. And a lot of women from the past, they're afraid, of retaliation from the family, that they have went through it so much over the years. I've even heard that there's ongoing cases, not even as she's deceased, that there are cases that she was dealing with.
Ari will bring those up, and unfortunately, if that's the case, then we're going to have to talk about those and read those aloud.
Yeah.
It doesn't paint her in a good light. I one thing that I learned is that we do react off things based on our own experiences and perspectives, and it's so hard not to get emotional. But I do read the comments sometimes of the people that are her avid supporters, and the one thing I always say is, we got to have emotional intelligence. We have to use our rationale, but not everybody has that. Even some of Holly's supporters aren't being completely rational about some things. I've seen it on both sides. I will say this, but if you hear that the person that you're defending did a U-turn to come and attack, and to come and confront someone that had a standing order of protection, does that make you kind of say, like you said, one of y'all said your daughter was like, well, damn, you ran up on them. Does that make you say, well, wait a minute. Does the deceased have some sort of responsibility in putting themselves in that position?
I agree that they do.
And another thing too, it's
People
like,
don't like it, but I think that they do have a responsibility.
but from what I'm hearing, and just, her and Carlos wasn't on good terms. So for Romika's supporters to say that she just pulled up to say hi to her baby father, apparently, from what they're saying, she changed her number. She moved. He didn't have her address. She was in fear for her life. So then why would you pull up? It's not making sense.
I would love to know the response to that question.
They don't want to answer it.
Has anybody seen a response? And it doesn't have to make sense, but I would like to know.
What's the question?
Doesn't matter. That's her baby father. She can go where she wants to go.
No, their response is justice for Romika.
That too.
Oh.
That's all when you ask them an intellectual question like that actually makes them think like, oh, wait, that does make sense. The only thing they come back with is justice for Romika. Mm-hmm. My boots are on the ground for Romika. That's it. That's all.
Or we're dragging her. When we ask logical questions, they don't want to answer that.
That's not helpful.
Yeah, not at all. When he asks about, the letter that she wrote, the suicide letter, and stating that she was going to hurt herself and little Lowe's or Carlos, it's so much emotions when you bring that up. It's like Amora was basically attacked by that, like just asking a question, like, why y'all didn't show that letter?
Yeah. Hey, who is you love Vontae? Girl, what she talking about? I don't know about that Naja. Girl, what I do? What I did? Tell me what I did. I feel I just asking logical questions, because I have seen people say, oh, if Holly was so afraid of Romika, why was she at the school? And then when you say, hey, so the videos and the map shows that she actually was not at the school, they were this many feet away. What is a logical response when you say, hey, actually she wasn't at the school?
They come back and say,
what's the response?
The logical response, or what do they respond? Because the logical one would be, oh, she wasn't at school? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I thought she was at the school. I heard she was at the school. But what they say is she was at the school. She wasn't. What do you mean she wasn't at the school? We believe everything. Everything the witness said, we believe it.
or as she owned the neighborhood because her son went to school
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was the response yesterday when she stepped into Romika's world.
Mhm.
She was in Romika's world when
Her
she was over there.
territory.
That
Yeah.
was her territory.
Mhm.
Okay. Because with a restraining order, if if Romika was already at the grocery store and Holly had shown up, do y'all know whose responsibility it would be to stay the 500 or 800 feet away?
1,000 feet.
Romika,
Mhm.
1,000 feet.
1,000.
And
Right.
because I stated that, oh Lord, it was
But this is how orders of protection and restraining orders go. Now, obviously, Holly can't go and antagonize her and follow her around and expect Romika to run away. Like, she can't provoke her too much, but it is the responsibility of the person that has this order slapped on them to be like, damn, okay, she right there. I got to stay away.
Mhm. Even if
So,
that meant leaving her cart full of groceries and exiting the building.
yeah, sounds messed up. It sounds messed up, but you have an obligation until that whatever period that you have this order protection on, you have an obligation to stay away.
Yep. And a lot of people get it confused because in the lead system, even if Romika wasn't served the last order, which was for 2 years, the preliminary hearing, the final order, it's still active because the judge signed it that day. It actually went in effect that day because it's in the system. And
That
so
that
that's
oh,
where
I'm
they're
sorry.
a little thrown off about. And if there is a message to state, oh, I knew I had court, or I knew, that's acknowledgement
Mm-hmm.
that she knew that she was supposed to be in court. She knew that, even after it, say it was in August, and she says, oh, I know I had, you let her put that TPO on me for 2 years. That's acknowledgement that you knew
That and
that she was supposed to stay
she
away.
was she was served in open court by the judge who signed the order in the first place.
That told her ahead of time what would happen if she did not appear.
So
That it
now that we say, hey, she was actually, hey guys, you know how we said that she didn't know there was a order of protection, a PTO? Hey guys, now we're learning that she was aware. And her and the people that say they want justice for her, what is their response?
Well, at
Justice
first they
for
said they
Romika.
didn't know. Right. At first
David.
they said they didn't know.
David,
And
you
then it
funny.
was like, well, she wasn't served with it. That's it. That's it. It's not valid. She wasn't served with it. It doesn't
What they say
exist.
is not real.
Mhm,
It's made up. It's AI.
mhm.
She
Okay.
created it. No proof. She threatened Romika too.
So she might not have been able to get arrested for violating it at that point. But hypothetically, if Romika was still alive and she put her hands on Holly, she would have been charged for assault, right? Then once she'd have went to court and went before the judge, they would have seen that there was an order there that she wasn't served with, but yet she violated it because she was already pre-warned.
To stay away.
Yeah.
Perhaps
And
I'll
like,
go on one of the panels just to understand the logic.
don't do it.
Well,
Don't
I
you
mean,
do
I'm sorry. Perhaps I'll just
it.
listen because you see how, like, I'm sure everybody doesn't agree with everything I say here, but we're still able to have a conversation and bounce ideas off of each other and share our thoughts, even if you don't agree. You think I'm talking some bullshit, like, but I've heard
It's-
some of the panels have gotten we're really nasty, and that ain't my jam. I ain't trying to have nothing mess up my nervous system. So,
yeah, going over there will definitely up your blood pressure. You'll lose, like, I want to say 5 to 6 brain cells, and
oh,
you'll literally be like some of these people's voices. I wish I could just choke them through the fucking phone because the shit
But
that
now
you're
that you go
saying.
over there and say justice for Ramika, they would love her.
Oh yeah, you go over there and say that. Oh yeah. And matter of fact,
They'll
as soon as
love
you
you.
go over there, as soon as you enter, and as soon as you enter one of the chats, first thing out of your mouth got to be justice for Romika. That's how they, that's they mating call or something like that. That's how they,
I mean, they might
I
be pleasant with Naja because, but like
no,
for me or
they
Amora,
they tried to drag Naja for filth when she came out with that when she did that video uh
Yeah.
doing
With
the
the
what's the
with
name
the
with
witness.
with the
oh,
witness that you spoke with. They
Yeah.
dragged Naja for filth.
Yeah, they were pretty. I mean, people were trolls. People were mean. They said awful things. But there's some people that claim they don't, none of us, I never knew how, I don't know how, I don't know anybody. But what I see from some YouTubers, some bloggers, they literally do this for the Google AdSense money because Amora would be making a whole bunch of money if she would say justice for Romika because she would get a whole bunch of clicks. So
I
a lot
know.
of people are doing this for the Google AdSense, and I just wish that followers that people could see this. Like, hey guys, they're just kind of saying what's popular because you're running their numbers up. It's easier to go with a popular thing, even if you don't need it. Somebody said you're gonna need a drink. Oh Lord, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
you're gonna need
But I
like
heard that,
four cut waters.
which I don't clock nobody's money, but I will say
I
if you
agree,
become,
Khalil.
and I mentioned this to somebody, right? I said if you block justice for Ramika, you would have a whole bunch of people in your chat. You probably have 800 to 1,000 people in your chat, and then next thing you know, anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it will bring the views. It will bring the views because there is a lot of Justice for Ramika supporters. They relentless, and they're not just on YouTube. They're on TikTok, Facebook,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're everywhere. But they are
There's a
definitely
lot of people that want to see her killer go away. They want to see Carlos go away. What I would appeal to
they want her attorney to go away, and any of her supporters. They want us gone too. They said they was calling the marshals on me. The who else they said? Who else
The
they said?
FBI, the CIA,
The state
Donald
attorney.
Trump,
Don't forget about the
Donald
state
Trump.
attorney.
They definitely got to get Donald Trump on your ass.
Okay. So okay. Oh, wow,
And then
wow,
they
wow.
said they're gonna get Ari disbarred. They're gonna take. They said they're gonna take her license.
I mean, I don't think.
A woman literally went to what was the name of that organization to put a complaint in on Ari, saying that she leaked the witnesses' names and information, but that was the way that the information was given to her from the state. So if they didn't want the names of the witnesses out, they would have redacted it their damn selves.
Mm,
Mhm.
mm,
And it's funny because they filed a complaint on her for leaking the names, right? Or putting the names in the motion, and then they leaked them on their channel, but they want her disbarred. They was like, we want her off the case. But they don't even listen. We only seen a little bit of what Ari can do, right? They're gonna really be asking for her impeachment or disbarred or whatever, however you say it. They're gonna really be coming after her real soon,
yeah. But I will say this: if y'all know somebody, because y'all see how I talk, you see how I move. This is Naja, by the way. If y'all know somebody that, because I would like to have someone that like a free Holly, and I would like to have a Justice for Romika person so that we can all have an intellectual conversation. So if y'all can suggest somebody that I can reach out to, please let me know. Because I do want to talk. I would like to. I'm a person that will talk. I'm a person that will talk to anybody. So if y'all know somebody, can you suggest them?
Well, people have tried it and it gets a little messy because everybody is
What do
not
you mean messy? Like what? Define messy.
Amora tried
okay.
to have a conversation with the auntie the other night, and that shit went off the rails.
Yeah, because they think that you're lying. They think that just because you showing facts, right? You just reading emotion or you're just reading what the motion means legally, and they'll say something like, you're lying. How can you, like for me, I am hashtag fair trial, fair case for Holly, hashtag self-defense, or team self-defense or whatever, right? So because of that, they're like, oh, you're the devil, you're the demon, because how do you think, the Bible says that should not kill. How can you support a murderer? Like they've said all type of things. They literally think that Holly should burn in hell and keep burning until eternity.
Somebody told me I was going to hell yesterday just for making a video talking about Ari. What did I do?
That's what I'm saying. They're relentless. There is no... They're not logical thinkers. They don't want to hear the law. They just want they want to hear you say that Holly should have did everything possible to get away from Ramika, because Ramika was on one, and Ramika should have been allowed to be on one because she the first baby mama. And that, and even if Ramika wanted to just give her a 1 and 2 a little bit, then she should have either fought her back or let her beat her ass. And then Ramika would still be alive. And, so it's almost like they are so for Ramika that they blame everything on Holly. Everything. They blame her car being there. Matter of fact, the witness was like she just popped up out of nowhere. Like it's just her statement was so all over the place. But they blamed everything on Holly, is what I'm trying to say. Like Ramika didn't do nothing. Matter of fact, she said Ramika was standing there with her hands crossed and not doing anything and not yelling or anything. And and Holly was just yelling at her and threatening her and all type of stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, they had it the other way around. The state, when they said that in court, we were sitting there listening like, nah, that y'all got it wrong. Like, no, it was Holly that was standing there with her arms folded, and Romika was the one that was raging at her.
Oh. Okay. I would be interested to see how the state would present that.
Yeah, I don't even think the state knew what the hell that they were talking about when they made that statement. Unless they were just going on witness number 3. Liar. Just for Ramika.
Somebody just said in the comments, there is nobody, Naja. There's not anybody. Okay. Oh, Miss Ken said, Naja, if you do that, remember you woke up and chose violence that day.
Right.
Naja, enter the chats with caution. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to y'all, but if I do find somebody sensible, I am gonna talk to them, and then y'all just.
I mean, if you get like a professional, someone that's like a professional that can understand logic and law, and somebody like that, then I would say it will probably be good. But I'm gonna tell you, it's not even the people that you get up on your panel. It's gonna be the comments. Like I just went back over to the channel, Chicago Live, up on the Holly Johnson case update. They're going crazy in these comments. And now just other day they was in support of her. Now all of a sudden they're going crazy in these comments because she didn't say what they wanted her to say. Somebody said, "Oh, they got you. It's okay. We know why." They literally said, "Oh, Tia, they got you."
Okay. So if there's some people that want to remain neutral, but if neutrality appears to a certain group, like you're one-sided, then it's like, well, maybe take a look at your stance. If somebody can't remain neutral, if somebody's like, hey, I just want to ask questions. I want to understand how you think. I want to understand your logic. Perhaps you can teach me something. But
some of these people are not unreasonable. Now, listen, in this video, you hear her say there was no fist bump, right? Look at this comment. These are the Justice for Ramika people that you have to deal with. Hold on. Let me get back to the comment. It just said it was no fist bump. It's not on. She said, why did the fist dap? Why did the fist dap? So it's still asking, even though she said there is no witness. I mean, there is no video of the fist dapping. And they're in the comments saying, well, why did the fist dap then? Like, why? So you can tell them that there's video footage that does not show a fist bump. Like they do have the video of the aftermath. And on the video, they do not find a fist bump from the gunshots or whatever. From the gunshots ringing, the camera zoomed in, there is no fist bump. They swear for God that there's still a fist bump. But, and guess what they said, Naja?
Mm-hmm.
That it magically disappeared off of the internet. Like as if someone has the power to magically take it off the internet. Like purposely. Like, well, I'm just gonna let y'all know my theory. My theory is, somebody got it. Like as if they trying to help Holly or some shit. I don't know.
It was the CIA.
And then they said the reason why that they don't have no footage of the incident is because David and Carlos went into the shops and stole the cameras and stole the footage.
And to that I say, who the hell still uses VHS tapes for security? I could have swore that shit is on everybody's phones now.
So they say weird things because they want it to fit the narrative. Like they wanted witness number 3 to be so honest. They wanted it to be so honest. Somebody said, I don't agree with everything that Naja says, but I will listen to her because she listens to me when I'm on her videos.
Thank you so much. I do listen and I take things into consideration. So thank you. Yeah, I'll talk to anybody that you don't even have to be all the way logical, but can we have a conversation? I'll talk to anybody that's like that, but it seems I'm reading these comments right now and it doesn't, I don't know, man. Yeah,
my comments is not going to be violent because I don't allow that over here, but everybody
your comments aren't violent, but my plea for like, hey guys, I would like to have a panel where we can talk about opposing sides and bring up points. And they're just saying that there's just nobody.
No. I mean, do we have a Justice for Ramika supporter in the audience now? We may have a Justice, because I do have some Justice for Ramika supporters, but they ain't violent and nasty.
Yeah.
Leslie, are you in the building?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't look like it.
Give it a few more seconds. It might be somebody in there, but
okay.
They scared to say something.
You know they in the bushes. You know they in the bushes.
Tell me why I said no, we cannot have a conversation with them people.
Dang.
I made a comment and got cursed out by Ramika's.
Damn.
They relentless now. They are relentless. It's just you can't talk to them.
And I do want to talk. Patrice says she when we said Ramika was, Patrice said she is.
Okay.
Well, Patrice, I'll talk to you, Patrice.
Is that OG Patrice is that OG Patrice that said that me and Carlos are on the DL together and something about when Carlos when Ramika got shot, Carlos' thing got erect and he probably wanted to have sex with her in that moment. Is that OG Patrice? I hope not.
No, I don't think that she would be nasty like that. I don't think that's her.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I guess once you cut off communication, if you say, hey, we can't talk unless you see things my way, then like where's the middle ground? There's no room to mediate. There's no room to, I guess coexist. There's just no room for that. So, okay. That's how breakdowns in communication continue to happen.
I think some people are just listening to the facts, right? They're listening to the evidence that's coming out. And I think even after all the evidence come out, I still think some people will still think that it was senseless, even though it was self-defense. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But what I don't understand is if it is found to be self-defense, I just wonder would they be like, okay, well, she was found justified, then I'm not about to hate this lady for the rest of my life. Because there's some people that's about to hate her forever. Like the trial is not to 2027. It's about to be some people that drag her for today until 2027.
That's true.
You know, they just gonna do it. So, are you following the Reiner case? Neil and Michael and Michelle and what's the guy Reiner, the celebrity guy that got
Yeah,
unalived by his son. Do
by
you
his
know
son.
his lawyer quit today?
His son, the killer's lawyer quit.
Yes, and they said he was like
Uh-oh.
one of the best lawyers, and he was going to try to plead he was going to try to plead
Insanity, right?
insanity. Yeah, and he quit. How you quit?
That's not
Look at
looking
this.
good for him.
But if you getting paid all this money, because this is a filthy rich family, right? You
Mm-hmm.
getting paid. Would you really quit if you getting paid all this money? But listen to it.
NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas, who can help us make sense of the stepping down of a very high-profile attorney on this case. Chloe, if we have you, I'm sure you were watching that as well, trying to listen to everything that was being said in there. But it seemed as though whatever the reason for Alan Jackson to step down from this case, that was told to the judge potentially in chambers here, but not publicly. What do you make of this?
Gotti, this is incredibly significant and not something that I don't think any of us saw coming today, because now this arraignment is going to be postponed for a third time. We know that when Alan Jackson, when he entered the courtroom, he then had a meeting in chambers. This is behind closed doors with the other attorneys, with the judge. We don't know what was said, but he did say this. He said, "I have no choice but to step down of counsel of record." So as you saw, Nick Reiner will now be represented by a public defender. Her name is Kimberly Green. So
a public defender? Did you just hear that?
Uh-oh.
A public defender? This man
Well, I
is
mean, the
rich.
son probably doesn't have any money, y'all. Like, think about it. His father was a multimillionaire. And
yeah, but I mean, he got the money. Like you get the money. He lived in his father's
out in
house.
his pool house.
Yeah. A public
Well, I don't think you don't get to reap the benefits of a person whose life that you took. Like, he took his father's life. His father was a multimillionaire. Unless he has money in the bank, which this boy was diagnosed bipolar. He was a long-time heavy drug user, and he has a host of other illnesses, mental illnesses going on. So he probably didn't have a bunch of money to pay a high-profile attorney. Y'all know how much an attorney costs?
So that's probably why he stepped down, because of no money.
No. Y'all know if something happened to you right now, if you got to go to child support court, clear up a restraining order, you get a case like this, how many people got $5,000 to pay their attorney's retainer? They're going to start off asking you for $3,000 to $5,000. Your attorney, you have to pay them about $500 an hour. And that's for an average attorney. Who got $5 just to drop on something like that?
This dude was, well, I don't know if he was rich,
His
but
daddy was rich.
Man, this is crazy. He is about to be, they about to cream his crop. A public defender. Oh my goodness.
He did the murder. So it's just a matter of
he absolutely did the murder. Did you see the tape afterwards when he went and bought him a drink out of the convenience store?
I saw that he was at when he at Conan O'Brien's house partying right before the murder.
Well, on the day before the murder, him and his father got into it at that party. But afterward, he went home and cleaned up, showered and everything, and changed clothes and went to the store and got him something to drink. And they arrested him leaving, and he drove away. They arrested him. But his sister said he tried to KI her 4 times. Let's finish this.
This is being delayed a second time here. And, we were wondering if Nick Reiner was going to enter a plea, and he has not yet. And at the center of all of this, Gotti, and you've been on the ground doing some really great reporting here, is his mental health really being called into question. We know that he is not on suicide watch. Nick Reiner, NBC News, had learned that had been removed yesterday, that he was not going to be wearing the smock that he had been wearing before. And so Previously, we know that Alan Jackson has said that he needed more mental health evaluations for Nick Reiner. He said that they were procedural. We don't know exactly what they were evaluating. But again, that is something that will potentially come up at the next arraignment, depending on how he pleads.
We thank you for watching.
I cannot believe that man got a public defender. He going down. Somebody said the family refused to pay any legal fees. Well, that's why his attorney, because that attorney was, they said it, you know, but nevertheless, even if he would have been found, he was either going to be found guilty of murder or he was going to be found insane, and he still would have been locked up just in a mental institution. So he still would have, this man lost his freedom. He literally lost his freedom. That's crazy.
I think it's a matter of, will he be found unable to withstand trial because he has a mental deficit, or is he a cold-blooded killer? So is it going to be insanity, or is it going to be, hey, you're just going to jail? Either way, we know he'll probably be confined for the remainder of his natural life.
Yeah. The only reason why I say, which I would have to read more of the case, but the only thing that I say right now that made me think that he knew what he was doing, because he did it while they was asleep. He went in their house while they was asleep, slit they, KI'd them, and then went home, drove, and took a shower, and went and got you something to drink from a convenience store. And then he was looking suspect when the cops walked by. So I think that he was very much aware of what he did. Who killed your mama and daddy? And do you know them people was elderly, like 70 and 80 years old or something like that, or maybe close to 80 and 70 or something? It was crazy. Who killed a 78-year-old person? Like, how do you do that?
Somebody that's a psychopath or somebody that's mentally insane, or a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. I saw that the father, his son had been in institutions, like a bunch of rehab facilities in and out, and they had diagnosed this dude. And I know it was bipolar, but they had diagnosed him with something like one of the dark triad personality disorders. I can't think of the name of it, but the father was like, my son shouldn't have been in there. So he was one of these parents that kind of enabled his son. I did see that. He kind of enabled the boy.
He did.
I'm calling him a boy, the grown man.
He did enable him.
Yeah.
But we do that as parents sometimes. He did. He enabled him. He he coddled him. I mean, hell, he's 30-some years old living in his guest house. I mean, but it was there. So, but yeah, he enabled him. Somebody said, "Are you a lawyer, Naja?"
No, I'm not an attorney at all. Was it a sociopath? You know what? Don't quote me on this, but I don't think it was a psychopath, but it was, I don't know which one, but it was one of them. Oh, yes, Jamie said it. Schizophrenic. Yes, that's what it was. Schizophrenic affective disorder. That's what it was. So he was diagnosed schizophrenic.
Yeah, he was.
And y'all know drug use exacerbates that particular one. Tammy, no, I am not a lawyer. I ain't never went to law school, and I don't really think I have a desire to do that at all. But I do consult for a law firm out of LA. I've been doing that for about 6 years. And I deal with high conflict blended family cases. So, which is why I was very, very interested in this case, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't interested at first, but once I got into it, I became interested. But sometimes I'd be like, Lord, maybe I shouldn't have blogged on it. But I'm glad I did, because if, or when, should I say, when Holly is acquitted, I just think that at least I would be like, at least I knew a little bit something about the law. Because, black and white, the law, she's not guilty. Now, I know the jurors are humans and they have their way of feeling or whatever, but by law, legally, on paper, she's not guilty. She did everything that she was supposed to do. She followed everything to a T.
If she did, the state felt that, then they would not have brought charges against her. If she did everything to a T, I know it took them 87 days to do that, but somebody in the prosecutors in the office does not agree with you.
somebody made a comment the other day. I think it was yesterday on yours, Maura. They said that their friend works down there in the Cook County Court building, and she said, like, if she was able to speak to y'all, she would tell you that it was the public outcry and the public pressure that made them bring the charges. Like, those people literally nonstop every day calling and harassing them people. When are you going to bring charges against Quadasia Johnson? It's been such and such amount of weeks. Like, when are you? What's going on? Are you guys just going to let a murderer go free? Yeah, I think it was definitely public pressure that made them do it. Because you got to think about it like this: at the beginning, the state's attorney put out a statement saying that they didn't have enough evidence to bring charges, and then magically, the fist bump came along
And the headlock.
and the headlock.
Well, I told y'all, I said, hey, y'all, I got ate up online. I said, y'all, I think they brought these charges up to shut people up. And I think they gave the most egregious charge so that they can just get rid of it. But I also know the state does not want to lose a case. They don't want to take on a case that they don't feel they can win. But I do feel like the public outcry and the pressure worked in this case. I agree. I said it time and time again. We'll see.
Somebody coming at this late hour at 9:09 at night talking about some, hi, everybody. Did Holly get out of jail? No, the judge said that he wants to be fair and review all of Ari's new evidence, and he's going to make a decision tomorrow.
At 9 a.m. Central, correct?
I don't know if it's is Chicago on the same time?
Chicago is Central Standard.
Oh, it is? Yeah, it's the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so by at least before lunch, we would know something.
Yeah, we should know something, girl. So yeah, we'll know something. Hey, we'll know something. But baby, I just have a feeling tomorrow, if she do come home, Lord, jeez, mercy, it's gonna be crazy.
So maybe I can do my panel tomorrow with one of the with a Holly supporter and a Romika supporter.
Wait, so you gonna do your panel tomorrow? If she come home, you gonna do your panel on the worst day of their life?
I mean, but at least you have a little bit more. At least they won't be saying stuff like, she ain't never coming home. She gonna rot in prison forever. She's never coming home. Don't you even think about her coming home. Don't even mention it. She's never coming home.
I think Nina Johnson might KI herself if Holly comes home tomorrow.
They're actually trying to say that Ari is quitting the case. She's oh, did you hear that Ari loves to flip witnesses? Let me see what that means legally, though. What does that mean legally?
They say, oh, so she's a witness tamperer.
I'm about to see what that means when you say flip the witness. I forgot my husband told me to do it from here. Hold on.
Flipping the witness means getting them to change their minds.
Or
drop out completely.
Flipping their story on its head.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. She said no. She said now they saying Ari is Holly's family member. They're gonna be saying Tia is Holly's family member too. All right, so flipping the witness legally means having them recant or walk back their statement. Oh shit. Oh, listen. Okay, it said flipping the witness means recant or walk back their statement, change their story, stop cooperating, admit that they lied, exaggerated, or was pressured, provide testimony that now helps the opposing side. So it says flipping the witness So walk back that statement. So, oh my God, that's why Tia said today, I wonder how the witnesses are going to respond when they're on the stand. Like, how are they going to respond when they're caught on camera lying? They're gonna be like, it was just busy that day, and I had so much going on, and I had my baby with me. I don't know what the hell happened, Your Honor. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Flipping the
That's gonna be
witnesses saying, hey, remember at 5 o'clock you said you saw this? They were like, well, actually, I don't recall that anymore. Or I plead the fifth. Or they don't show up at all.
but I don't think you can not show up to court. Like, I don't think you can just not. I think you have to like tell them that you're not.
yeah. I mean, they can subpoena you and charge you with contempt of court, which they definitely will do.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But if you're impaired and you can't come, then that's a whole different situation, which also happens to witnesses.
She said Tia spoke truth. She did not cover for Ramika on the news today. But I don't know now. You said she spoke truth. I still heard some hesitation.
The only time I saw a moment of like, is when she said, I reached out to Holly's attorney and I was informed did she say in no uncertain terms that she's not available for an interview. So that shows me that she caught some words when she requested to speak to the defendant.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like, she must have, something must have happened. You could tell in her face and just by the intonation that she was like, oh yeah, don't ever call up here again for that.
But do you blame her? Do you blame her for wanting to speak to her client? Like, come on.
I don't blame Tia as a journalist. Tia is a journalist. She got a chance to talk to Romika's family. She's spoken to Carlos. So it only makes sense that she would request to speak to Holly.
Are you serious? Sense. Somebody that's dealing with a first-degree murder charge that could typically have her words used against her in court? You thought that was a great idea?
No, I said Tia is a journalist. I don't blame her for trying to get the clip, to speak to Holly because she's doing her job. Now, if Holly would have spoken to her while she's facing this charge, then that probably would not have been wise. So she's been silent all this time.
Yeah, like why would you do that?
Yeah, but Tia was being a journalist and was like, hey, I want to talk to everybody. Can we blame Tia for doing that? No, but I can tell that Tia got she caught her issue when she made their interview request. I could tell from her face, and I would love to know what was said.
It was like nothing beats a failure but a try. So yeah, she had to try.
Yeah. Damn. Wow.
I think Ari told her, hell no, to the no. I think she said something like that. I don't know, but I guarantee you she won't get that call no more. It's just funny to me. I ain't gonna lie. It's funny because you might look at it, journalists, in a different way than I do. I look at it like, how dare you want to speak to a person that could potentially jeopardize themselves and spend time in prison, right? Mm-hmm. How dare you want to put them on your little small channel? She ain't CNN. She ain't Fox News. She ain't one of the big boys. Why in the world would she jeopardize her freedom like that? The only time
journalists make their careers. You go from being a regional journalist to a nationwide journalist if you land the big fish, if you land the big interview. So Tia was doing what any journalist would do. And Ari was protecting her client with whatever she said. The hell to the nana, whatever she said to Tia.
Yeah, well, she'll be all right. Ari hung up in her damn face.
Oh, yeah. She
went off on her and hung up in her face. But hey, she'll be all right. She won't call back. But the thing about it is, okay, I understand what you're saying. They catch their big break. But I don't know. I guess she better catch it somewhere else. But it has she not been already out here really team Romika? She wearing the pink nails and speaking on Romika family behalf, giving them money. She's really team Romika. She really is. And the fact that she's doing this, that doesn't show that she's non-biased. If she was really non-biased, then I think Ari would have. I don't think she would have, but I mean, she wouldn't have hung up on her.
She
You know
probably
what
would
I'm
have
saying?
said
She probably would have just
we
said, "My
decline at this
client is,"
time.
or "My client is seeking self defense." That's all you need to know. Because a lot of attorneys don't come out here and talk. It is some attorneys that say, "I'm not saying nothing until the case is done," and it's some attorneys that come out here and talk on behalf of their client, but some do not.
Yeah.
You know. So
Ari
I
is
just
more public facing with the type of marketing that she does. She is more public facing. So and this is a case that gives her a bunch of visibility. And so this is how she gets clients. This is how attorneys eat. They let you know what they do.
yeah.
Even if they win or lose a case, people are like, "Oh, okay." Because if you look at Ari's page, she gets people off on technicalities. I called her the queen of technicalities. She is gonna find holes, undotted I's, uncrossed T's. She's a queen of technicality. So I understand why she was hired.
Yeah.
I like the fact that she found a Black attorney. I think
Mhm.
Ari does not, like I said, I don't think she gives when we envision or we think of what an attorney is or how in our brains it's been presented, how an attorney presents himself. I don't think Ari does that, but I think it's cool that she's a regular Black girl. Like we regular Black girls up here. So she does that. I like that about her.
This one said this person was facing life in prison. It says facing life sentence. My client was charged with attempt murder, armed habitual criminal, and list of other charges. State offered 20 years at 85%. We demanded a trial, not guilty. It was a shooting that was caught on camera. The weapon that was recovered on the scene was sent to the lab. My client's DNA was found on the gun. We filed lynch motions, and had two defense, self-defense, and necessity. We had multiple witnesses on standby to testify on our behalf. Case was set for a jury. The jury was in the hallway today, ready to start selection at 12:30. At 12 p.m., the final hour, the state dismissed the attempt and every charge other than the armed habitual criminal. We waived jury and proceeded with a bench trial. Although there was DNA, no officer was able to testify that they saw my client with the weapon. There was over 15 civilians outside and my client was injured. He went to the hospital. The DNA being on the weapon doesn't mean he possessed it. They never saw him with it. It was time to fight and we got it done. He is in custody. He has been in custody for over a year and a half. He'll be out tonight. God dang.
And the cases that she wins all look like this, where like I read one, my client was sitting in a car, there was a bag of weed in there. The police searched the car. There was nobody else's DNA on the car. The client owned the car. The car was registered to the person, but the client got off. Like she finds these holes and presents this. And obviously all the reviews are not good, but we know how she's going to run this case because how she markets herself on social media. And this is how she gets more cases. You know how many people know this lady's name now just because she's taken on this case? And then they're going to go to her page and be like, oh, she got so-and-so off on a petty drug charge or a gun charge or whatever. So this is going to up her stock in her local area.
Well, Ari, girl, you better get ready.
Yeah.
You better get ready. You better get ready. You better get ready. They say she's from the hood. So
Is she safe? Because what y'all, we mentioned, is she safe? Has she mentioned any threats or anything that she's faced because she's decided to take on this case?
I don't know, but I would assume she has. And the only reason why I say that because when you listen to any of the people, they don't want Holly nor Carlos to have any support. So, and then they already said they tried to disbar her, disbar her. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's been threatened, but they try to threaten you to run you off.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
I'm
but
sure.
it's another attorney that I was looking at. She carry a damn weapon. I mean, I'm sure Ari carries too, but you know, I don't know how that works, but
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how
Well,
that works, but you know, she but I don't
interesting to
know.
see. By lunchtime tomorrow, we'll see what type of conversation we're having.
Yep. That's what we'll do. So yeah. Let's link back up and find out where it's gonna go. I do believe the judge is going to, I don't see how the judge can look at those facts and not and say no, she needs to stay in jail until 2028. I don't see that. I absolutely do not see that. So I think she'll be home tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm banking on her being home tomorrow. So. But we will talk. We will talk. What you got, David? Y'all got anything else? If not, I'm gonna close out this long old live.
No, I ain't
Well,
got nothing else.
All right. Well, thank you, Naja, for coming up. Thank you, David. Appreciate you always.
thank
Yeah, we
you.
will.
Thank you for letting me pop my first live cherry. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. And if you need help with StreamYard, just let me know.
I do, and I will. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Okay, honey.
Good
Good
night.
night. Talk to you later. Okay.
Bye.
All right, y'all. This was interesting yet again. So much has happened, but I think the funniest part of it all was Tia doing a moonwalk because, baby, they are not liking Tia right now. I don't know what to say about these people. These people will blow wherever the wind blows. These people will blow where the wind blows because they are not liking Tia right now. But I just don't understand how Tia did not realize it was a whole nother side out there. How did Tia not know that the defense had their side, y'all? Like, come on. This is crazy to me how they really thought. I think a lot of people was running with it, thinking that's it. The state has spoken and that's it. No, it's two sides to a story. Sometimes it's three sides, right? One is their side, your side, and then somewhere in between there's the truth. So she said, Amor, do you know anything about Joe Murray, the attorney working with Ari? No, I don't know anything about Joe Murray. I haven't heard of him. She said, yes, I love me some Amor. You rock, girl. Thank you so much. Now, let me ask y'all this before y'all get off. And this is not no win or anything like that, but I just do want to ask y'all, from the things that I have been bringing to the platform, right? Tonight, listening to Tia, I guess we could call her Tia, break down the motion. Would you say that I was pretty doggone close to knowing what I was talking about when it comes to this, legal stuff? What do you think? Thank you, Sip and Laugh. What do you think? Based on what Tia was saying, because we were saying, I feel like we were saying some of the same stuff already, like 2-3 weeks ago, right? Tiara said no, she don't think that I was pretty close. Okay, so you don't think I was pretty close? Most people say yeah, Tiara. So you outnumbered. Well, most people in the chat think I was pretty close. So, I mean, y'all, that right there just shows that I do my research, I take the motion and I don't read the motion based on emotions. I read the motion and I base it on what the Illinois law says. So that's why I was going the route in which I was going based on the evidence. We can sit here all day long and scream about what she coulda, woulda, shoulda done, but the evidence does not match up to what she's accused of. Okay. So, and I'm going to keep going that route. So if you like this type of commentary, hit that. She said, we'll see tomorrow. I guess we will, Tiara, we'll see tomorrow. But if you like my commentary, hit the subscribe button. And if you don't mind, become a member, join my channel, become a member. It helps me out. It is an investment in my channel, and it does come out once a month. But the starting price, I think, is like $4.99 or $5.99, something like it might be $4.99 or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But become a channel member if you don't mind, you know. But if not, you can hit the subscribe button, and it's absolutely free. Okay. So I do appreciate you guys for pulling up yet again. And we will be back tomorrow to find out what's the status. Again, I believe she'll be coming home based on the evidence. But we'll see. Okay. Dakota said the court looks at law and evidence, not feelings. Exactly. Exactly. You know. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't have no feelings in it. To be honest with you, I did subscribe, and I can't even believe it. Lolita, well, thank you for subscribing, Lolita. I appreciate you, girl. It's so funny. But I will say this. I do have some feelings in it, but it's not as, I don't think it's as much. But I do have feelings in it because I feel bad for Holly. And I know a lot of people are like, why would you say that, Amor? There's a woman life is lost. Yes, but I still look at it like Holly did not ask for that, right? That's how I look at it. Holly did not invite Romika over there. Holly did not even know she was coming. It was an unsolicited pull-up. So I feel bad for Holly that she's had to spend over a month. I don't even know how long she's been in there, but I think it's been over a month. Christmas and New Year's were spent in jail, okay? All because she exercised her Second Amendment right, and that is to carry arms to defend herself. Some of these people that don't have weapons will never understand that. You understand? You know, and for those that do have weapons and don't know how to use it or don't know when to use it, then that's on them. But a lot of people that's saying that what she did was wrong was because they are not weapon owners. They do not carry, so they don't know. They don't use a weapon for their protection, and that's their prerogative, right? But for those of us that do carry, we know the importance of our weapon and what it's for. It is for our protection. But you do need to know your laws before you just, do something like that. But anyway, so did y'all talk to that witness? No, we ain't talked to the witness. I would never talk to any of those witnesses. There's some other channels that talk to the witness. No, we never talked to the witness. So But what she said, what that lady said, Atia, talking about the witnesses are being threatened. She just said that because a whole bunch of Justice for Romika people emailed her. That's why she said that. So, but no, I wouldn't do that. So anyway, but thank y'all for pulling up. Thank you so much, Glenn. I appreciate you so much. Kayshawn, Sonia C, love you back. Octavia, thank you so much for becoming a member. Candy Girl, thank you so much. S Gums, thank you, baby. And who else we have? Audrey, thank you so much. Thank you, Big Sis. She said, well, let's get this party started for more. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Kissy. She said, I had a time today in the comments. Yes, thank you. Jen Hen, thank you. Bonita, thank you. She said, I'm with the party. My favorite content creator. Oh, thank you. Nico Black, appreciate you. She said, you doing the mother effing goat. Love you, queen. Love you back, baby. And Sassy, thank you. Octavia, thank you so much. And Yolanda, thank you, thank you. I will always be a loud talker. Okay, that part. Thank you. And Tender Teaser, thank you. And Rita, thank you so much. And thank you for the 16 months. Thank you, Miss Pam. And thank you, Kim C. And my girl, Binky Bink, Bink, Bink. Rita M. Gigi, thank you. Super fans, thank you. Lacondas, thank you. Bonita, gift 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Bonita, for that. Appreciate you, girl. And then Laconda spent the block. We got Tanya up. Big Sis Glenn gave 5 memberships. Thank you, Big Sis. And then 100K said, please tell the slow bus riders in the back with all the feelings and zero facts, zero research, just a bunch of feelings. They and they feelings, girl. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Gloria. Come through more. That's why you the mama. Hey, Moz in chat. Hey, girl. Thank you. Thank you, Tisha. She said, my cult leader told y'all this. You so funny, girl. Thank you, Brown Sugar. And she said, Amora infiltrated and raided them roaches. Roach leader. What do you mean, girl? What are you talking about? Oh, you talking about now they calling her a roach? Wait a minute, girl. Are they calling Tia a roach? Oh my goodness. Thank you, 100K. And thank you again. Thank you, Lashina, Nell. And then Glenn did 5 more memberships. Thank you so much. Gigi, thank you for the membership. She said, when a news reporter, oh, I read that one already. Thank you so much. Thank you, Benita, for 8 months. She said, and you heard facts and talk about it with her more. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. And thank you for 23 months, Lashina J. Lou. She said, folks have Mandela effects. When constant news media coverage distort memories, so it feels like you personally saw something happen, even if you didn't. Girl, what you done said? Because how many people tell me, I seen the fist bump. I saw the fist bump and they ain't seen nothing. They ain't seen a thing. You hear me? You hear me? Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you, S. Gum. Thank you, Jan Zun. Thank you, That Real MF. She said, even if the TPO wasn't served, why even approach someone who requested a TPO against you? Exactly. You are just proving their point for the need for the order. Absolutely. That part. Okay. Thank you, The Real MF. She said, Ari has the witnesses moonwalking like a mug. Hey, one that fell off, y'all. One that fell off. He said, no, I recant. I don't want to have nothing to do with this case. He is out of here. You hear me? Thank you, Marley, for 28 months. She said, another awesome Lavamore. Thank you so much. And thank you, Angela, another great Lavamore. You are the GOAT. Keep standing strong and keep ignoring the noise. Oh, yeah, girl, I got bigger fishes to fry, honey. You hear me? But thank y'all so very much. I do appreciate y'all. Y'all hit that thumbs up button on the way out. And I'm going to talk to y'all tomorrow. I cannot wait until tomorrow. She said, Amor, come back and do a late night live, please. Cassie, and I got to go to sleep so I could be up tomorrow for the verdict. So what I'll do is I'm going to get me some rest tonight. Sorry, I keep forgetting I can't hit my microphone. When the verdict comes down tomorrow, I'm not going to wait till 6 or 7 o'clock to go live. I'm going to go live during the day when the verdict comes down, okay? I guess it's going to be a whole lot of us on live. You hear me? It's going to be about 20 people on live tomorrow. All right, but y'all hit that replay if you need to, and I'm going to talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye now.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Jay! She kept talking about that family.
Hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. 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 That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family. These motherfuckers don't be wanting to listen. Because they can't make $1 without